Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the United Gamedom podcast. I am your host, Darren, aka Dow, and kind of a lonely one this week because I'm only joined by one other person, and that is D-Boy, Dennis. Hello, Dennis.
Yeah, the studio's pretty empty this week. It's only us two. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, the barren wasteland pretty much here
Yeah.
in the United Gamedom fort. Derek had, I believe, other things to do because he had we didn't record this on Saturday like we usually do because he was away in a wedding and we were both going to do it today, which is just a Sunday, but he had other things to do apparently. So unfortunately, Derek cannot join us this week, and we were supposed to have a guest as well, a friend of Dennis, but hasn't replied back. But maybe he might pop up mid-episode. We'll just have to wait and see though. Predict if we can predict the future now. Um, I don't know how the song is going to be. This might be a pretty quiet episode because in terms of news, there's pretty much been a dead week of news, hasn't there, Dennis?
It's been pretty quiet. Yeah.
Yes, it has been. Only two news I can really say, like two news stories I could sort of think about is like, first one is kind of a follow-up to last week's, which was in the about Final Fantasy versus 13. That last week was basically rumored that the game was supposedly cancelled, and I was basically giving my sentiments that it was not surprising whatsoever because the game, as hardly anything's been shown of the game since it was announced back in 2006. So, but apparently, according to Square Enix and that there, and Sony, yeah, like it's not cancelled, so it isn't. It's still going on pretty much at progress though, and I'm actually quite surprised at this. So I am. It's like you not I don't know. I know you're not really that interested in Final Fantasy games whatsoever. Like you played 13 and you didn't think too much of it, did you, Dennis?
Yeah, I played 13. Didn't really enjoy. I don't know. I didn't enjoy the whole how Final Fantasy has become. I stopped playing at 10 and then picked up back at 13. So
Yeah, I know. Fortunately, there's people in the background there. um, but like as I say, yeah, it's just really not like I don't know what the deal is with Final Fantasy Versus 13. Like it says not cancelled here. It says Square Enix president Yoshi Wada tweets that rumors of the long-delayed action role-playing game being abandoned are false.
yeah.
Nah, I just pick up the full stop. Yeah. We're basically going on fly here though, because it didn't it ever says to dance leader confirms the exhibitors recently saw a build of the project during a meeting and was very impressed by it. But the fact is, we haven't seen anything new about it. I think there might have been, like I said, there might have been a gameplay video or two and things like that might have been shown like over the last several years, but nothing much since.
hmm
And maybe we might see it, in the Tokyo Game Show perhaps, and say like, geez, like basically let us know the game still exists for people who are actually looking forward to this game. Coming the new like Duke Nukem Forever or
Yeah.
for other people The Last Guardian
Yeah.
because
It's in that territory now. So uh,
yeah
will we
go
ever see it? Or no, it's not canceled, but what's going to happen? Is it going to ever come out? Is it going to be canceled somewhere down the line? If it does come out, will it be as poorly received as Duke Nukem Forever was, or what's going to happen?
I don't think I'll go that far now though because Duke Nukem Forever just basically ended up becoming a joke
hmm
because it was like started in development like 1987, like not long after Duke Nukem 3D came out.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, it was like there actually was video shown at a few E3s. Like there was a video shown in '99, and then there was another one in 2001, and then pretty much hardly anything was shown up from that since.
Yep.
It's like 2000, I think it was around 2006, 2007. There's like this teaser video of him like showing all like basically he's back, and then nothing again,
hmm
and then like the story, like Gearbox pretty much had to take the reins and finish it off, and The game did pretty bad in the review front, of course,
Yeah.
which is not pretty much a surprise. I don't think you've played Duke Nukem Forever, have
I
you?
have not played Duke Nukem Forever. No, I have watched a lot of gameplay videos like Giant Bomb and other people playing the game, and just demolishing it, saying it was bad, and it was very out of date. Like the jokes were very out of date, like a ton of boobs and stuff jokes and everything. So
Yeah, it's just like I actually have it. I bought it for very cheap on Steam when it was like £3 odd, so I wasn't going to pay more than say probably £5, £10 for it. And I think it's all right. It's not hard. I don't think it's like absolutely god awful now, but it's not like it's not a really competent first person shooter. Like there is parts of it that like seems all right though, but it's not really a one of those ones you can really enjoy
mhm.
playing like hours on end.
Apparently the platforming is pretty horrible, I heard.
Yeah, like there's certain sections in the game that you go down, you get shrunk,
Hmm.
and then you have to like jump in these like suitcases or like basically have to jump and then get to the other side and things like that. Yeah, I think I did one of them thus far during my playthrough, and it was like me. And there was this one you were in this like little wee remote control car as well thingy
Hmm.
when you were shrunk down. That part was actually pretty cool though. It's one of the actual highlights of the game thus far.
Okay.
But it's not a horrible game though, but it's not like, great either. It's like it's average, it's mediocre at best
Not
pretty much.
phenomenal. Hmm.
But I know a few people out there actually really do love the game. Um so there's like a guy on a podcast I listen to,
Hmm.
he loves the game because he's kind of a big Duke Nukem fan
Okay.
and he's probably one of very few who can say that they can basically defend that game to the death.
Hmm.
Um But like is but I don't think you have any interest in playing it whatsoever because you've seen what the game has in offer and you're like, nah, nope, this game's not for me.
Yeah, sadly, no, that's not the type of game I want to play, really.
Yeah.
So,
Anyway, moving on now. So there's just another news story and that's pretty much it. As I say, very, very quiet news story. Like,
oh,
we usually have like 10 news stories like every other week.
yep,
So we do this week because I said news was shite.
yeah, this week was absolutely barren of news.
Because we looked in games, we looked at the usual sort of news sites we go to look for news, and there was nothing.
Nope,
So
nothing of
basically,
interest.
just had to scrape the bottom of the barrel in terms
Hmm.
of news.
Yeah,
And the second news is that Assassin's Creed 3, which I know a lot of people are looking forward to, myself and Dennis included,
yes.
is apparently getting episodic DLC, which is not really a surprise though. It's a supposed Ubisoft note to GameSpot staff, hence that stealth game is getting a host of post-launch content available to users through Season Pass.
Hmm.
Yes, the awesome
The infamous.
term, the infamous term of Season Pass, which practically a lot of people absolutely hate.
Yep.
Because but the thing is, though, a lot of people do buy them as well because you usually do get a season. Sometimes you get a season pass with a game, but in other words, you have to pay. Hey, pay this so much up front to get all the DLC, upcoming DLC in the future.
Hmm.
And heck, sometimes the DLC is not even worth it.
Yep.
Saints Row Third, for example, is apparently is one of those games that offered, that season pass, and the DLC for it, I don't think did very well though. I don't think it got a lot of good feedback from what I gather. And you played them all, Des, and I don't think you really rated them highly, did you?
I absolutely adored Saints Row, the Saints Row the Third, the original, the boxed game was absolutely phenomenal. My favorite game of last year. Yes, even more than Skyrim. But very disappointed with the DLC. It was very subpar. Um, Basically, there's not a lot of DLC that actually, comes out and wow, like is fantastic that you say, oh, this is better than the original game. I think the only DLC that I can remember that was that was actually better than the original game is BioShock 2's Minerva's Den.
Which I still yet to play though, because the fact is I haven't finished Bioshock 2, and I know the whole you don't really need to play through Bioshock 2 because it's a completely different story,
Yes, it is completely different.
and I've heard quite a lot of good things about
It's
Minerva's
fantastic.
Den,
It's really good.
but I've never played it whatsoever though, so I haven't. But I have to try it sometime though in the future.
It's not very long. I think it's probably, what, 2 or 3 hours max.
Yeah,
It's really not long, and it's very, very good. Very good.
that's most DLC is kind of that length pretty much, except for like say like like
Skyrim.
Oblivion and Skyrim. Like Dawnguard one came out, which I haven't played through yet, but I heard apparently it's about like 10 hours long or something,
I haven't.
maybe longer if you go through all of the different little niches there is that Dawnguard has an offer. And like other DLC like Knights of the Nine for Oblivion, which was a pretty like kind of a 5 to 10 hour sort of campaign as well. Of course, like Shiver Knights, which was pretty much like it's full blown expansion, which offered like 20-30 hours as well extra. But that was back in the early days of DLC, and now every fucking game pretty much has some sort of DLC
Yeah.
on the 360 and PS3.
We could go into a whole debate about DLC and stuff like that. I think we should make that our debate topic for later on the podcast. That would be
Yeah, actually yes, because we're thinking of making an actual topic discussion.
because this week's podcast is very barren. So
yeah,
we're trying to.
it's very barren. No one's showing up. Everyone's deserted us, so
Yeah.
it's just me and Dan holding the fort pretty much. So apologies for that, folks, but everyone has lives. We don't basically like I'm basically free for the next couple of weeks. Free for the next couple of weeks. I have nothing better to do on a Sunday evening here, so might as well. But yeah, actually that's probably a perfect topic because I actually had something in mind as I said in the outline. But Dennis basically said, "Yep, DLC. Might as well talk a bit more about it in the upcoming."
Yep.
But like Assassin's Creed says, gamers want to hold on to a copy of Assassin's Creed 3 after launch in late October. So it appears Ubisoft has planned a plethora of post-launch downloadable content. This is not really surprising considering the fact that the Assassin's Creed games have always had some sort of DLC. Like Assassin's Creed 2 had 2 sort of sequence DLC contents that they did. Were I think it was sequence 12 and 13.
Yeah.
They had for the Assassin's Creed 2 because they weren't part of the main game. I heard they were pretty short and weren't very good, and I never actually played them myself.
No, I haven't played them either. I heard they were very, very subpar, very boring actually, so I didn't bother playing them.
And also there's another one. There's another one for Brotherhood, and I don't know if there's any for Revelations now. I know there was like DLC for multiplayer stuff. I don't
think there was a DLC or a single player of Revelations, probably because of the way it ends. So I already know the way it ends. I haven't played the entirety of the game, but I know how it ends. So probably because the way it ends, I don't see them plugging DLC in there. And I think it's a good thing because with 3 coming along, they want to change gears and change characters, and I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with that there now, and we'll be looking forward to the Assassin's Creed 3 no matter what anyway. But I have to get Revelations has to be get out of the way first. I have till October to do that.
Me too. Same here.
Because I have got the game on pre-order. But then again, I might just get the game and just hold them aside for a time being because I didn't finish 2 until after Brotherhood came out.
Okay.
So I didn't. And then I played 2 and then started off with Brotherhood and then just left it for a bit and then went back and finished it because I had to do a review on it. Because it was a review copy of Brotherhood I got. So it was. When I did a few reviews for a site called Gaming Euphoria, if you know that site, Dennis.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I think if that's all there is. It's a very quiet news week, though. Hopefully there's more in the next week or two when actually something to talk about though. But anyway, moving on here to the games we've been playing. I've got a shitload, so I would probably leave mine to last. And Dennis has a few as well, but we've played a few together though, so we'll probably talk about them ones together though.
Yeah.
But anyway, go ahead, Dennis.
Okay, I'll start off with those that I played, I guess, individually, if we can say. I played and finished Spec Ops: The Line. It's about a 7-hour campaign, maybe. Actually thought it was too long. If you can, actually thought it went on for way too long.
That's the prize, considering the fact that people can slam first-person shooter campaigns for only being like 4 or 5 hours long, and yet you're slamming ones for being supposedly 7 hours long.
It took me 7 hours, yeah,
Right.
to complete the campaign. I died maybe a couple of times, but I guess 7 hours, maybe at the 5 or 6 hour mark, I was like, okay, is this going to end? I mean, it keeps on going and going and going, and I don't know. I gotta say, it's a very bland. It's a competent first-person shooter, but it's a third-person shooter rather. But I mean, it gets really, really bland. It's like you get headshots. The game slows down a little bit, so you can get multiple headshots in a row. And the mechanic is cool when you first start off the game, but it gets really old at the end. And I mean, I haven't heard what's his name that does the protagonist and Nolan North. I haven't heard Nolan North swear this much in any other video game in my life.
I actually didn't know he was in that game.
Yeah, Nolan North plays the main character. He swears a whole hell of a lot, and I mean constantly swearing. When you're in the shooting sections, it's like, "Die, you motherfucker!" and like all this swearing, and I was like, "Oh my God, Nolan, what are you doing?"
He knew he had a potty mouth on him.
Yeah, I didn't know he had that kind of potty mouth on him. Jeez. So, I mean, the story. I talked to you about this, Darren. The story is very good. It is actually a very, very good story.
I heard it's like quite dark.
Very dark, and the ending is very shocking. You actually have choices that you can make throughout the game. There are very less, there aren't a lot of choices. I thought there were going to be a whole lot of them during the campaign. Like they were promoting this game to have, choices that you had to make during the campaign when Greg Kasabian was working on it. Remember that?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I remember he was originally working on it as well. And that was like a few years ago, and then of course he went on to form Supergiant Games and made the Great Bastion game.
Yes, and well, he worked on that. That game has been in development for quite some time.
Yeah.
Finally came out, but competent but mediocre third-person shooter. Fantastic story. I thought the story was great.
Now, would you recommend me actually recommend it to someone to play it for the story?
I would recommend you play it for the story, but I would recommend you get it for $20 or cheaper if you can, because there's a multiplayer which I haven't tried, but I've seen Giant Bomb did a quick look about it and stuff like that, and the multiplayer looks shit boring, like really boring as hell. So I wouldn't really recommend it for replayability. There's some things you can collect, like there's some hidden intel that you can collect as you go through the game. But besides that, I wouldn't really recommend it to any.
Right.
It's a fantastic story. I mean, the story is very good, but the game itself is sadly very, 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 well, not very bad, but very
Underwhelming.
Underwhelming, yes. That's what I was looking for. Very underwhelming game, but story is very good. If you have a chance to play it, I mean, rarely do you see shooters with stories like this. And
so it's not like your typical Call of Duty sort of stupid, like, you know, or Battlefield 3 or whatever, like those kind of storylines now.
Hey, I'm a hero. I come in and I save the world and all that stuff. It's not at all like that. It's not at all what it seems. The way it ends, I was left like, oh my God, really? That's what I had. I had a hunch that the ending was the way it was, but when I saw it, I was like, oh my God, really? Okay, so
Or the went there then, pretty much like that kind of reaction to it.
yeah, I was like very shocked, very surprised. I had a little hunch, but still, the ending was, oh, okay. And by the way, if you play the game, stay for after the credits because there's a sequence after the credits that you.
Oh, so they're pulling a Marvel then, are they?
Yeah, you get a little sequence at the end of the game also. So and you get an achievement for that. So
Oh, okay, okay.
I don't know if you press any button during the credits if it brings you to that sequence or not, but you know, I usually I watch the credits of every game I play.
Yeah, I do the same thing though. I just leave the credits rolling just in case there is some sort of, you know, extra. Because sometimes there is an extra scene at the end, but sometimes there's not.
And sometimes if you push the button during the credits, you miss the scene. I've seen.
Yeah, I usually just go to the main menu then afterwards.
So I just leave the credits roll, and sometimes you get a little surprised. Like in Spec Ops, you get the ending, the proper ending to the game. So very dark story, but very very good story. Very bad game. Well, not very, very underwhelming game.
Just great story, just mediocre game.
Yeah, mediocre game. Sadly, they could have done a whole lot more with this game, but sadly, falls flat pretty much.
It was on sale there on the Steam Summer Sale, and that's where know where you got it now, and it was like 33% off, and it was like £20 out here, and I was considering getting it though, but I just didn't bother with the end of the day, and unfortunately, it never came up again.
Yeah, and when
So
that just came out goes on sale that quickly, that's a little indication that it might be it might not be that good to start with. So mediocre shooting, but very very interesting story. I enjoyed the story a whole lot. Other game that I've been playing that I've downloaded, recommended by you, Darren, and by Derek is Torchlight, which I've been playing, and I absolutely love that game. It's very, very good. Very Diablo-esque. In fact, there's some guys from
yeah, I believe it's like some of the people who worked on Diablo 2 or just both Diablo games now went on to like form as like Runic Games, I believe the studio's called, and created Torchlight. And Torchlight 2 is supposedly be coming out pretty soon, which will have online multiplayer, which is great because that's just one of the things that Torchlight is kind of falls flat on. It's just basically a purely single player experience.
which is a little, it's too bad, but I can see that, you know, they're correcting that with Torchlight 2, so that's going to be awesome. The loot in this game, I actually have to say the loot in this game is much better than the loot in Diablo 3. I think the loot that you pick up in Torchlight is absolutely phenomenal. So, and they have pretty much the same thing as Diablo. I mean, the sounds, most of the sounds sound exactly the same as in Diablo. Like when you open the chests, when you pick up rubies or stuff like that, you get the same sounds as you do in Diablo. So you can, like when things come out of the chest, you know, the sound that it makes there, it's exactly the same sound. So you can see where the influence came from. So
Exactly.
it is a very very good game. I'm very much enjoying it. I don't know how long it is, but
I don't really know as well though, but I'll probably say maybe 5-10 hour mark, but I could be completely wrong there. Like I actually haven't finished the game. Like I played like I've got like I think the first I got is basically I beat the first boss you encounter, and then I think went back up to like the village. Because basically Torchlight is this It's just basically there's just one main like village part, and you go down to the mines, and basically go deeper into the mines. It's like randomly generated
Mhm.
sort of dungeon crawler pretty much at that there. So, but I think if you're into like say Diablo and games like that, though, you should like Torchlight because it's pretty much like that, of course.
It's very I'm really enjoying it. I mean, the the gameplay is very good. You know, it's pretty much the same thing as Diablo. You go with the mouse and you get your healing stuff. And what I find absolutely phenomenal about this game is the pet game. You can give your pet your stuff that you don't want, send him back to the village. He sells the stuff, comes back to you, brings you the gold. I think that's one of the best innovations in RPG in these types of games that I've seen in a very long time. I mean,
Too bad pets can't do that in real life.
that would be
Hey, you go get the paper. Hey, you go get my groceries.
brings back the
You-
trees and everything. You can actually give powers to your pet. So I know my pet heals me as we go along. So if I get injured, he heals me and he heals himself. So that's really awesome. That's fantastic. Um, anyway, it's a very good game. I'm probably 3 hours into it, 3 or 4 hours into it, and I think I'm at the second part of the main quest. I've been doing a couple of side quests. There aren't that many side quests. I'm surprised that maybe it opens up a little bit more later, but I'm surprised there aren't a lot of side quests, and they're very short also. Like,
But it's not like really a large game now. Like it's kind of one of those, smallish games that kind of, has become quite popular over the last couple of years.
do you think Torchlight 2 is going to be bigger?
I would probably say so because like, I'm sure because more time and development will have been put into it now, and I'm sure, like, of course, it's going to be a sequel, so of course they're going to make it bigger and better and things like that now to make it, and like online multiplayer co-op is basically a good indication of that.
Hmm. Yeah, I can't wait to see what they do with the second one. I will definitely try to finish the first one as soon as I can. So I think the second one comes out mid-September.
Yes, it's apparently that's what it is, September. Although it was supposed to come out during the summer, like around this time, I think, according to people though, and it's actually I think out in September, which some people would consider it's still summer. I don't. I consider that September to be the start of the autumn fall season.
Yeah, we had the discussion yesterday.
Yes.
Uh, I still consider September as being summer, even though kids are back in school and all that stuff. It's still pretty hot outside here in September, so it's not summer scorching hot, but it's still, in the 20 Celsius or something like 20, 22. So, it's still pretty hot. And if you would live the Quebec winters, you would know our winters last pretty much 6 months. So, uh,
Freezing your ass off. Yeah, I won't move to Quebec anytime soon then.
yeah, it gets, it's gotten pretty much hotter than used to. Like last year, we had like days in March where it went up to 30 Celsius, and that is absolutely not normal here in Quebec. But
People say it's caused because of global warming, perhaps.
yeah, global warming is like completely. We haven't had a whole lot of snow either. We usually get a ton of snow, and the past 2 winters have been not a whole lot of snow. Like we got our first snow at the middle to end of December, so we won't complain about that. So I hate snow, so the further away we can get snow, the better it is.
Yeah.
Me.
When I was like younger, when I was like a child, though, you'd love the snow because you can go out and play it and like have snowball fights and out there. But when you're like a proper mature grown up and you have like bills to pay and have to go somewhere, the snow is your worst enemy.
Yep. When you have to drive in the snow and you're blocked in traffic for 2 hours, then you pretty much hate the goddamn thing. But I have a kid that comes and shovels the snow for me, so I don't have to worry about that. But for the rest, that pisses me off pretty much. Uh, anyway, back to games.
Yes, back to games for that little wee tangent about the weather.
Yes. So if you haven't played Torchlight, play it. It's very good, especially if you like Diablo, Diablo-esque games. Try this. It's very, very good. I really enjoy it. Another game I've been playing is The Witcher 2. I played a little bit of it after the last podcast, and strangely, I cannot get into this game. I do not know why I can't get into it. It's not. I I just can't. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous game. Looks fantastic. The dialogue and all that. The characters are very cool. I don't know why I just can't get into the game. Maybe I'll have to go back into it and try it a little bit more, but I don't know. There's something missing. I don't know what it is, or did you? I know you like The Witcher 2 a lot, Darren.
I wouldn't say I really liked it a whole lot, and I wouldn't say I like absolutely love the game now, but I did enjoy what I've played of it though. Um, but it's yeah, I could probably see where you're coming from now. Um, but like you say you can't put your like you can't just don't figure out why you can't do it, and then like you don't can't get into it whatsoever. And I'm sure there's been games like that I can recall, but I can't get them out of the top of my head now. Where I pretty much I think a lot of people really praised, and I tried, and it's like yeah. I don't know what people really like this game for. It's just something about it. I just can't get into it whatsoever.
Yeah. Was it you? Was Deadly Premonition one of those games, or did you like that one?
I've liked of what I've played of it thus far, though. It's just one of those games that I just just put to the side and just no bother playing. But I actually enjoy what I played,
Okay.
though.
No, it's
It's like
Derek that doesn't like Deadly Premonition, right?
yeah, I think he said he wasn't a big fan of it now.
Mhm.
But like I enjoyed it though. But I'm not really that far into the game though either.
Okay.
Like I think the last part of it I did was like escape, like got out of the hospital, I believe it was from
Hmm.
that part, and I think that's still pretty damn early in the game.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty. It's still pretty early in the game. But yeah, The Witcher 2. I don't know if it's the fact that you have like a ton of things, like you have to prepare your potions, you have to, drink your I mean, you have to go into a sort of meditating trance to drink your potions, even to cure yourself, and I don't know. I think it's just a little too overwhelming.
Yeah, yeah, you could probably that's probably one of the things that probably have some people off it though. It does become quite a bit complex in a way.
Hmm.
Like you have to I have to set up these traps. I have to create these potions. I have to even create these weapons or like these runes and things like that. Though it's like, geez, there's just like so many things to do though. But I think I've experienced worse games like that now. It just really, really goes complex now, and you're just completely lost. So, but I don't find that part really, really overwhelming now though. But I can see some people like yourself being kind of
Yeah, but
iffy about it.
yeah, I'm used to playing like Bethesda type RPGs, like Fallout 3, which I absolutely adore. Is my favorite RPG of all time. Um, Fallout New Vegas, and I played a whole lot of Skyrim, which I absolutely loved. And you know, you want to take a potion, you freaking take a potion. That's that's it. You have your magic, you do your magic, you do your one-handed or two-handed weapon, and that's pretty much it. You don't have to go into a trance and create your potions and all that stuff. I think that's just a little too overwhelming for me. I might sound like uh, I don't know, casual gamer when I say that,
Casual RPG guy or something
casual
like yeah.
RPG guy, but I'm just used to that type of stuff. It's just you. If you want to drink a potion, you grab the potion and you drink it. You don't have to create it and all that stuff. It's, it's just a little too overwhelming for me. I'm gonna go back and try to play it, but we'll see how it goes. I'm actually very much into Torchlight, so I'm gonna try to finish that one and see how it goes down the line. I'll surely go back to it and try to get into it, and if I can't, well, I can't. I won't. I won't play the game just because other people say, hey, it's great, you should play it. Force myself to play it and be like, oh, I hate this. Oh, I don't play it. You know, take
Yeah, everyone has their own opinions. It's different strokes for different folks.
exactly. Yeah, opinions are like assholes. Everybody
Exactly. Bingo.
has.
You're going on about how The Witcher 2 is a great looking game, it's gorgeous and all that there,
Mhm.
which leads me to the next game that you've been playing, that we've both been playing exactly, and that is, of course, Trine 2.
Oh my God, yes, Trine 2, such a fantastic game. That game is fun, and it is absolutely gorgeous. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous game. I mean, me and Darren were playing it yesterday, and the whole time we were going, man, this game is great.
Yeah, if you're in our we basically play our games and we're on Skype here, of course. And the thing is, though, like pretty much every couple of minutes we just go, "Oh fuck, this game is just looks great." And you'll probably be by the time we said it for like the 50th time, you'll be like, "Okay, the game looks great.
Yeah,
We get it. Geez, shut up about it.
yeah.
What do you want to fucking marry the graphics or something?"
No, but it does look absolutely fantastic, and the gameplay is very fun. I wouldn't see myself playing the game alone because there are some spots that it's pretty tricky. But when you play with somebody else, there's always a way to, I guess, con your way out of the of the thing.
Yeah,
con,
there's yeah, exactly.
con through
There's just
little boxes
this
and
yeah. Pretty much that me and Dennis do. I was like, oh, this is a bit of tricky though. But sometimes we get through. We know what to do though, no problem though. But sometimes you have to sort to the standard create a box and just get the other player on it and levitate them up to the different platforms to get the little wee glass things to like level up and things like that.
Mhm. Yeah, it's a great game. It's really really enjoyable in co-op. It's a little bit like Portal. I guess it's a mind bending game. You have to figure out how to get past a couple of things, but very enjoyable. I really like it.
Yeah, like I'm basically glad that he enjoys it because I'm the one who sort of basically persuaded him to get the game during the summer
Yeah,
sale.
exactly. It was on sale for what, $3 here or $4?
Yeah, it was like for both of them though, which was it was pretty cheap for like the both of them, which I believe you got both of them now. And I think you probably would have just better off just getting the second one because the second one's the one that has online.
Yeah, I think
First one
I
does
didn't
not.
get the first one. I only got
Oh, you just got the
yeah.
second one. I thought you got the first one as
No,
well.
that's The
Okay,
Witcher.
okay. No, yeah, the second one's the one that has online. No, like I've got the first one on the PlayStation 3, and but I got both of them as well on the PC, the Steam during. I wasn't the summer sale now. I think I got it like when it was on sale before.
Mhm.
During I think it was one of like the daily deals or like one of the midweek or weekend deals that Steam do regularly.
Yeah.
Um, but like I'm glad I got it. Though I actually didn't play it until like we played like a couple of weeks ago there for the first time, and just basically having that game up in like high or very high settings. It's just absolutely beautiful art, like looking game though. Like not technically though, of course, it's not technically, great though. But just the art style of it, just absolutely gorgeous. Just the various colors though. You kind of wish you were in that kind of land though. It's just absolutely beautiful to look at though, and
Mhm.
me and Dennis can just go gag over that game. So I
Yes,
love that.
exactly. It's
Great that game looks all day long.
yeah, very good looking game. Um, you were talking about Steam sales. I guess I should point out while we're here, if you guys have not played Borderlands yet, first of all, you're an idiot. Second of all,
Yes, get it now. £5 for
yes,
the Game of the Year edition. That's a steal.
yes, it is. Game of the Year edition, all the DLC and the original game rather. Get that 75% off right now on Steam. Absolutely, go out and get it if you haven't played it yet because fantastic game, awesome game.
Yeah, brilliant game. And basically, me and Dennis have to play the Claptrap DLC before the second one hits because it's the only one, bar the Mad Moxie, which we've already sort of led upon that we do not like that DLC whatsoever.
No, not
It's
at all.
absolutely hideous and boring as hell. But I pretty much think that's the general consensus
Hmm.
for that DLC. I think everyone else likes the other DLC. A lot of people I think like the Secret Armory one the best or the Claptrap one.
Yeah.
But I like the Zombie Island one as well, but hate the Mad Moxie.
Yeah. Yeah. We still have to finish that Claptrap one.
Yeah. We'll have another like just over. We'll still have like another month and a half to do so.
Yeah. True. So that's The Witcher, and I've also been playing not The Witcher, but Trine 2, and I've also been playing another game with Darren, and also by myself. A game that has to do with something that just started like Friday.
Yes.
The London
So
2012 Olympics.
yes, and I'm sure a lot of people are saying, "Oh God, why the fuck are you playing that shit for?"
Yeah, because it's not. Let's say it's not the most well reviewed and well sought out game, I guess. But I downloaded it. I had like a craving to play that game ever since I saw the quick look, and with the Olympics starting now, and I enjoy the Olympics, so I kind of wanted to play that game. I got it. I didn't get it on sale though. I got it regular price, um, which is I think $40 there or something like that.
Yeah, £30 in Steam here though, but luckily I got it for £20 on greenmangaming.com, which was great because I wasn't willing to pay anything more than that
Yeah.
for the game.
Well, good for you because it's still a pretty good game. I mean, if you guys have played any of the other Olympic games, I guess that came out, and also track and field back in the day of the Atari or whatever. This looks pretty much. This is pretty much the same thing. I mean, button mashing and timing your your button mashes to certain events.
Yeah, just like button mashing certain times, like just basically keep tapping the A button right to like a certain like meters, and also like time to like you flick your like the analog sticks in the right direction
Yes.
to time and things like that now, and like press buttons like to the perfect timing now, like in certain events like the diving and like the trampoline and ones like that now.
It's a good game. I wouldn't call it a fantastic game, but
It's a lot better than the last one, Beijing, because I rented that game out and good God, that game sucked.
yeah, it was bad. I don't know. I
Yeah,
haven't played one
I think yeah, I rented it out or something though, because I think it was because around I don't know if it was Beijing was happening or it was like over or something. I think it might have been around the time it was on,
hmm
and I just wanted to try it out. It's like, yeah, I'm just kind of in the mood to play, see what it's like, and it's like, yep, this game sucks.
hmm Did you play the Vancouver one?
No,
No.
I didn't play the Winter Olympic one. No, it's the last one I played was the Beijing
The
one.
summer 2008. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I guess it's hard to actually recommend a game to people. But if it's your type of game, I mean, it's fun, but you can't play it for like 5 hours straight because it gets pretty pretty boring after a while.
yeah. Cause fact is, there's always a set number of events, and I think there's certain events that were in the last one they're not in this one now. But I think there might be a few other ones that were not in the last one as well that are in this one. But
hmm
like they have table tennis,
Yeah.
which is and beach volleyball, which I don't believe were in the last one.
hmm
And I think the last one had like judo and a few other ones as well.
Yeah. Judo would have been cool. That would have been nice, but it's not in this one. Volleyball is pretty cool. I played a little bit of volleyball. It's pretty fun. Um, Not a big fan of the table tennis one. It's pretty boring. It's not Rockstar's table tennis. Let's just say that. I guess
Did you ever play that
I
game?
haven't played the game, but I've seen a lot of stuff about it.
Right.
Apparently, it's very good, or what I've heard about it anyway.
It was a good game. Now it was just very bare bones, very lacking of content though in it.
hmm
That's pretty much probably the main fault of it. It's like just a standard like career mode or something, going through like the different opponents and like the versus multiplayer and all that. There, and that's pretty much it.
hmm Oh,
But so go ahead.
I guess London 2012 Olympics. Just wait until it goes down in price.
Which would be after the Olympics are over.
You can find it for $5 when the Olympics are over. But yeah, I guess if you can find it for cheap, go ahead and play it. Other than that, don't bother getting it, really.
Just rent it out, perhaps.
Yeah, rent it out. You could do a, I guess there's a career Olympic season that you can do, and it's not very long. It's like I would say maybe 2 hours, and you're done. So
Yeah, because you pick a couple, like there's a list of events each day you can choose from, and you do 2 of them,
mhm,
and then you could do the qualifying, and then you do the final.
yeah,
Like if you actually qualified for the events, of course.
mhm. And it's like the real Olympics where you have 50 sports per day. It's like you only choose 2 per day that you do in the game. So
Yeah.
it's a little underwhelming, but it's still fun for a little while, I guess.
Yeah, I wouldn't say we wasted my money now. Like if I paid like £40 for it, then it would though. But like I said, I said to Dennis like I wasn't willing to pay more than £20 for it, and luckily I found it for £20. That was pretty much the max I was willing to pay for it.
I actually paid the whole price for it, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But like if I knew it was £20, and if you could have like I don't know if you can use that gaming because it's in pounds, but I don't know if it's some sort of North American equivalent now for it.
mhm,
I could have just sent you the link for it and said, here, go buy it, because it's pretty much you just get it and it's a Steam. You just activate it on Steam and download it on Steam anyway.
okay.
It's just basically you get a Steam code. So chances are you could have, but I didn't know. I was too late. That was just after you bought it, so it's too late.
Oh
You
well,
had to pay $40, but oh well.
yeah. I guess you live and you learn. That's how it goes. I never learned, but doesn't matter. Uh, that's pretty much what I've been playing this week. It's still a good amount of games, I guess.
Yeah, compared to other weeks where you played like one.
Yeah. I will definitely start on either Just Cause 2 or Fear 3. Those are 2 other games that I got in the Steam sale. I should start on one of those this week. Not sure yet which one I'm going to start with, but I guess Fear 3 is probably, 5 hours maybe?
I haven't played it though, but I heard the campaign is pretty short in it.
So yeah, I'll probably play Fear 3 and go into Just Cause after that. We'll see how it goes. And you, my dear sir, have been playing a whole lot of games, as I can.
Yes, it's only been a week since we did our last one, but I've been playing a whole lot of games. It's basically, some of them are the ones I've already mentioned last week or in previous weeks as well, but basically going to go through them in order here like I have on the outline. The first one is Blades of Time, which I got on the Steam Summer Sale, thanks to Derek pretty much, because the fact is that he posted a link
Yeah.
to this thing on the Hidden Gems.
Mhm.
I think it was on the Steam forums itself, Hidden Gems of the Steam Summer Sale, and I clicked on it and seen it there, and it was like, I think it was 75% off, it was like £6 odd. And this game has already been out it's out this year. I think it came out in April or around that time, February, March, April time.
Mhm.
So the game's not out long, and it was like £6 odd. I was like, yep, I'm getting this game, because there was a demo for it on Xbox 360, which I tried, which I thought was pretty decent. I was like, yeah, just pay for this here, and I got it. And it's a decent enough game. For you who don't know, Blades of Time is pretty much your kind of action adventure sort of hack and slash game, like in the lines of you say, like God of War and games like that now. And it's kind of a spiritual successor or sort of a reboot to a game known as Axe Blades, which came out a lot of years ago, which wasn't well received. And
Mhm.
this is kind of their, reboot of it, or somewhat like spiritual successor. It's a good game now. You play this girl called Ayumi or Ayami, and you have these like 2 like katanas or whatever, and there's these like different abilities you can use. Like there's time. You can basically, like especially in this one thing that you actually shoot this guy has a shield on him, and you have to shoot at him and then use this time elimination thing to have like copies of yourself like like from like few seconds ago shooting at it as well. So there's like four of you shooting at it at the same time, so it could disable the shield and destroy it then.
Yeah.
So there's basically things to work out like that now. It's a good. I enjoy it though. I say I'm playing on the PC. I actually think it looks pretty nice. I have it on high settings, and I think it looks a pretty like. So it's not like oh my god, this game looks absolutely amazing like Trine 2.
Yeah.
But I think it looks nice. So it's like running very smoothly though, and it's a good game. I'm playing using my PS3 controller through software called Motion Joy, which is basically very, very great for if you want to play for certain games with the controller. You can do that, and you can basically enable it to assume that your PS3 controller is actually a 360 controller, and therefore you can make sure that the 360 controller settings for like that game are shown and things like that. Now it's very good. Star Fox Assault, which I think I mentioned last week as well, I finished it. So I did. That's the second game out of my second game. I finished off my summer backlog. Good game. I wouldn't say it's a brilliant game, but it's decent enough now. Wish there was more R-wing levels because there's hardly any R-wing levels in this. I think it might have been a couple, 2 or 3 at most. Like there is levels you can fly in the R-wing though, but there's a lot of third-person action, and some of it's really annoying though. I don't know why. There's certain parts of the game kind of were annoying at the very least. I know a few people really like Star Fox Assault. I thought it was a good game though, but it's not brilliant. New Super Mario Bros. Wii, which is my third game I finished in the summer backlog. I finished the game. I finished all 9 worlds. I got every single star coin. So in other words, I fully completed that game, and that's pretty much. I've done that pretty much for I've done that for all the Mario games, like the proper, Mario platformer games on the Wii. I fully finished Super Mario Galaxy, got all the stars in it. Fully finished Super Mario Galaxy 2, got all the stars in it. Fully finished Super Mario Bros. Wii, got all the star coins. So
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I'm kind of a Mario completist in a way
Yeah.
on the Wii. Really enjoyable game. There is some levels though that are kind of tricky though, but I wouldn't say it's very, very fiendishly difficult now. But there's sometimes I had a trouble trying to get some of the star coins more than the actual getting through the levels themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Because in certain levels you need a certain power up to actually get the star coin, and sometimes I had to lost a good number of lives before I actually got the star coin and actually finished the level. But that again is pretty much Mario games. They're just you can rack up loads of lives easily in Mario games, and this is no exception. Ninja Gaiden 3.
Yes.
I got this on Thursday through Love Film, rented it out, and I finished it on Friday and sent it back. That goes to show how long that game is.
Yeah, that's pretty short.
It's probably about 5. I don't know. I probably may have spent maybe maximum about 10 hours to it though, because I've kind of died a good number of times during the later levels. But let me tell you something. I don't know if it was my 360 or it was just me. I don't know if it's actually this here. I never looked up on it though. But this game has absolutely god-awful loading times.
Okay.
Now, there's games out there that are renowned for having bad loading times.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they're during the game. When you die, they have to wait a load. Duke Nukem Forever is one of those games that has quite bad loading times. Splatterhouse, which is a game I played, has very bad loading times.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is there any games that you can recall, Dennis, that you played that whenever you die that you have to wait 30 seconds, 30, 40 seconds?
I remember, well, maybe not when you died, but I remember Fallout New Vegas had horrible loading times when it launched on the 360. I remember when you went from one area to the other, it took a whole hell of a lot of time. I think it was at least a minute and a half or 2 minutes before it loaded up. I mean, that was horrible. Like Fallout 3 wasn't like that, and New Vegas was just horrible. Like they fixed it with a patch, but at the beginning it was horrible. The 2 minute time loading screens, just.
Yeah, so the guy was like, yeah, every time you open a new area,
Hmm.
like go through a certain, like, into a store or whatever it is now. Yeah.
Yes.
Now, the game 3 is kind of a top start in a way because it took about 2 to 3 minutes for the game to actually load up.
Wow.
Put this skin, click on it, and I thought the fuck my 360 was frozen or something because it was just a big black screen, and then I was like, okay, wait a minute, is this game broken or something? It's like, nope. Every time I played it, I played this through several sessions.
Hmm.
Basically, every time I had to wait 2 to 3 minutes for the
Okay,
game to load up.
it's a big black screen. There's no like loading screen
No,
or
it's
something.
not loading or anything,
Wow.
no. And I don't know, as I said, I don't know if it was my 360, but I would think it was because I played other games,
Hmm.
and it didn't take forever to load up now. Because if it was something like that along those lines, then I assume, okay, it's my 360, there's something wrong with my 360 disk drive.
Hmm.
I wasn't like it was like, kind of like spinning or anything like that, or
Okay.
like like really bad, like along those lines now. Like I checked the disc because it was a rental disc. It looked fine. There was no like really bad scratches or anything.
Did you install it on your hard drive?
No,
Okay.
but I wish I did after. I should have done that though. I don't know if that would. I'm sure that might have made things a lot better though, but
Hmm.
there was no point to it anyway because it was. Could have just installed it though and then just deleted it afterwards though. But I don't know why I didn't do that. I actually didn't know why. Like that was the last thing I thought of.
Hmm.
Now that you mention it, it's like, why the fuck did I not do that in the first place after experiencing this?
Yeah.
Because every time you load it up, it had to take 2 to 3 minutes before the actual, Team Ninja and all those logos come up.
Yeah.
And then whenever you load up the game, it takes another couple of minutes for the game to load up as well.
Hmm.
And then every time you die, there's just a big black screen and you have to wait like 40 seconds for it to restart.
Damn. That's that's a while.
Like, there you go. I haven't even mentioned what I thought of the game though. I just had to bitch about the loading times because that's probably the main thing that's come out of this that I just kind of annoyed me the most
Hmm.
from that game. The loading times. A lot of people hate loading times because they're dead. Sometimes they're dead out. They're just really, really long.
Yeah.
Ninja Game 3 is very bad. In terms of the game itself, it was a game that came out a few months ago and it got pretty mediocre reviews for the most part.
Hmm.
A lot of people said this is not Ninja Gaiden. Where's the brutal difficulty? Where's the great gameplay that we've experienced
Yeah.
from the previous entries in the series? I could definitely say that yes, this game is easier than the previous ones.
Hmm.
Later, it still gets pretty tricky. There is still parts you kind of get annoyed by though, because sometimes the camera is not your best friend in this game. Because sometimes you could be surrounded by a bunch of enemies and you have no idea where you're at
Okay.
until you like jump out.
Hmm.
And sometimes you're like kind of a bit far away. The camera's a bit far away, and like you basically get knocked around, and you lose loads of energy in that there then. But like I enjoyed it to an extent. I wouldn't see myself playing through it again. But it was all right. It is a lot. I'd say it is easier than the second one, which the fact is I never finished the second one because I got to the third boss and can't fucking beat that boss to save my life. Finished the first one on the Xbox Ninja Gaiden Black version, and my god, that is a fucking hard game, but I did it. I persevered.
Yeah.
I never played on Master Ninja mode because I'm not fucking sadistic.
Yeah.
I did on normal, that's fine by me. But Ninja Gaiden 3 and normal, I was like, yeah, it was a competent game though, but I wouldn't say it's a brilliant game.
Hmm.
Soul Calibur 5, which I got from Luftham as well, because for some reason they give me an extra disc attached slot. Because I am allowed to rent out 2 discs at a time, unlimited rentals per month. I pay a certain amount per month for 2 discs at a time, unlimited rentals.
Okay.
And basically get half discs for as long as I want. Like I said, it's like GameFly or Netflix and things like that in the States and that, they're North America. And I don't know why, because the fact is I sent an email to them because I sent back Syndicate and Ratchet Clank All for One. I never even played the co-op at Syndicate, but don't worry, rest assured that I'll probably buy that game in the future.
Mhm.
Because, as I said before, I really like the campaign in that game, and I heard the co-op's even better. And I
Okay.
have to play the co-op. The soak, I said because I looked up on my online account and said that Ratchet and Clank was returned, but Syndicate wasn't, and I sent them back both in the same envelope, and I saw they got Ratchet and Clank, and somehow Syndicate was lost or something. I sent them an email about it saying, Why is the thing not updated, and why is Syndicate lost or something?" It's like, okay, no, we basically said we got it on the same day, and as I said, apologies for your inconvenience or something. We'll give you an extra disc, a disc rental out. We'll send you another one out from your list.
Okay.
It's like, okay, it wasn't a big deal, though, but thanks for that, love film. And I had Ninja Gaiden 3 and another game I'll talk about shortly. And then I got sent out Soul Calibur there, and I got it, and I finished the story mode in it, which is like a couple of hours at best, and it's not that great, the story mode, and it's just like your typical kind of silly ass story mode in a fighting game. And
Yeah.
basically, right after I finished it, said, Namco, take a page out of NetherRealm's book on how to do a story mode in a fighting game.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because that's exactly it. If you've never played Mortal Kombat, go out and get it, and play the story mode in it, because the story mode in that game is actually very good. Because it just basically chronicles the events of the first 3 Mortal Kombat games,
Yep.
and it's actually quite well done.
Mhm. Exactly.
Did you ever finish the story mode in Mortal Kombat?
No, I haven't. No, I haven't finished it. But I know I've heard a lot of people say it was excellent. So
What was the first? I think you got to Shang Tsung and Quan Chi battle, wasn't it, or something?
yeah, Shang Tsung, Quan Chi, and couldn't beat him. I didn't know the trick that that you guys that you and a couple of other people did.
No, that was against Shao Kahn.
Oh, it's against Shao Kahn. Okay.
Yeah. But the first time you fight Shao Kahn is like, it was just basically this cheap ass thing. Basically just spam Liu Kang's fireballs, and that's it.
Yeah.
Easy as pie.
Mhm.
Second battle, on the other hand, no. You play as Raiden, and I fucking hated that battle. Though it took me a couple of hours to beat Shao Kahn with Raiden, the final battle in the game.
Okay.
Really was really annoying, because he just basically, if you ever played the Mortal Kombat games of old, like Mortal Kombat 3, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 and those ones, basically Shao Kahn pretty much acts like that. Cheap ass bastard.
Okay.
Soul Calibur 5, I could say I'm somewhat of a fan of the Soul Calibur series, because I absolutely love the first one on the Dreamcast. It's my favorite fighter of all time. I played that game to death back in the day, and I don't think it's actually been topped ever since. And that's been like 13 years ago now, that game. I don't think that game's been topped in the Soul Calibur series.
Wow.
Soul Calibur 5 I think is pretty good though. Soul Calibur 4 was pretty mediocre, which had pretty much the Star Wars characters milking the whole, guest appearance shit.
Yeah.
And we all know how well that went with mediocre reviews, and actually I think it got an 8 on GameSpot, which I don't get why. But it's a good fighting game though. I like it though. But like the story mode in it's pretty pants. It's pretty stupid.
Okay.
But it's alright. Rhythm Thief, which I've mentioned before, so I'm not going to say anything more about it. Trine 2, we've already talked about. London Olympics, already talked about. I started my next summer backlog game today. Well, started back onto it today there earlier before the podcast. 3D Dot Game Heroes, and fortunately, something happened to it that pissed me the fuck off. Now, I don't know if this has ever happened to you, Dennis. Has there ever been have you ever, ever this happened to you, where you've gone pretty far into a certain game, like, you just loaded up a game, then you've played it for, let's say, an hour, you haven't saved it, and the game locks up on you, and then you lost that hour's progress,
Oh
and you
yeah.
have to start the previous save again.
Hmm. Oh yeah, that's happened to me a couple of times.
Any games in particular?
Well, if we stick Fallout, Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, that happened to me. Um, there's a couple of other games that I can't really put my finger on. I guess Diablo would be one. Diablo's uh, got pretty far into a certain place, got killed, and had to restart and all that stuff. And happens a couple of times. That I mean that their game freezed and that I lost
Yeah.
progression. I can't really remember. I know it's happened, but I can't remember which game it was or when it happened. But I know it's happened before, and that's pretty shitty when it does.
Yeah, that pretty much happened to me because I went back on it today, and it's been nearly 2 years since I played it because I checked my last save was the 19th of August 2010.
Hmm. Wow.
So that was the time I played that game, and because I was just at the first, it's like 3D that game Heroes. People, I think some people don't know what it. For people who don't know what it is, it's basically this basically this homage to the original Legend of Zelda, and it's done in this really cool, dot graphical style where all the characters and the environments and like items are all basically made up of all these little wee dots and it's
Mhm.
in this 3D world. It's pretty awesome. I loaded up my save. I wandered around and then I got to the second temple.
Mhm.
I got to the boss temple. Just went through the boss, went through the boss key, got the boss key, and went through the door there. And then the game just pretty much locked up. The music was still playing, but the screen was black.
Okay.
I couldn't load up. I couldn't start or anything. Couldn't bring up the menu. Couldn't turn off the PS3 through the controller or anything like that. That to me is pretty much a lockup.
It didn't go like boo, like the same. It's stuck on.
No, music just was still playing. The music was
Okay.
still playing. That was it. I couldn't do anything else, and I didn't even save since I loaded it up. And I just really was annoying when that happened.
I bet.
Basically lost like say about an hour's progress because I was playing it for like an hour at that point, and I
Mhm.
just thought it's like I I loaded up again and like went turn it off, turn it back on. It's like yep, still that's the save there, still not save though. And that's when you basically think that's basically when you really love autosaves.
Yeah. Mhm.
When autosave is your best friend when shit like that happens. Unfortunately, there's no autosave in this game. You have to manually save, and that unfortunately happened to me.
Yeah.
Game locked, had to turn it off, lost an hour of progress, and I haven't played it. I just turned it off after. I was like, yep, I'm not in the mood to play this again. So after that happening,
Yeah. Which game didn't have an autosave? I can't remember a recent game not having. I think
Rage,
Skyrim.
no Rage.
Rage. Yes. Exactly. Yeah.
Because that's a lot of people really. Some people really like enjoyed Rage though, but they think that the whole. Now I think it does have some sort of autosave though, but the fact is that they're few and far between.
Mhm.
That
Exactly.
you basically have to make sure you save quite often yourself
Mhm.
because you can go through like a certain part of the game. You can make like maybe 15, 20 minutes progress, then die, and then all of a sudden you have to do that 15 minutes progress again because there was no autosave between whenever you started up and whenever you died.
Yeah.
I believe that's the case with Rage. I haven't played too much of it now, but I heard
Mhm.
pretty much heard about it though.
Didn't Skyrim have did you have to
No,
save
had autosaves up the ass. Every time you enter
okay.
a new area or anything like that, autosaved.
Okay. Okay. I can't remember which game. I know there's one recently that like you had to save manually, and if you forgot, you had to,
I see. I thought that was Rage. I assumed you meant Rage.
Yeah, Rage was like that, but it wasn't. I know there's another one, but I can't really remember which one it was, sadly.
This year or last year? Do you know?
Well, it's a recent one. Probably last year. Uh,
Right.
Sadly, I cannot remember.
I don't know. I thought it was Rage though, but like if it's not that, then I don't know what you're talking about then.
Okay.
Um. Anyway, it's a great game though. I actually I counted this room that had like these Demon Soul references,
Mhm.
which is pretty. Despite the fact I never played through Demon Souls, but like it's Dark Souls anyway. Demon Souls, Dark Souls. Like yeah, this is awesome
Yeah.
because they're the same guys from software.
Yeah.
It's a great game though. Like I have to play through the game though because I want to try to get it out of the way as well and play through it before I go back to work for my holidays Thursday week. Still have plenty of time left on my holidays. Still have a week and a half to go. Um, two more games. Kirby's Adventure Wii, which is basically Kirby's Return to Dreamland in North America. I don't know why we got called Kirby's Adventure Wii here, because I don't think we ever got the Dreamland games over here or something. I don't know. Played a bit of it though. That's the other game I got on Love Film. It's if you ever played a Kirby game, it's pretty much the same old stuff though. Very cutesy, very like kind of enjoyable to play, but
Mhm.
so goddamn easy. It's not even funny.
Mhm.
Um, that might be one of my turn-offs of the game. I might even stop playing. Just like yeah, because a lot of people, you know the game Kirby's Epic Yarn, don't you?
Yeah. Mhm.
And a lot of people praise that game, think it's a great game. They love the art style to it, the way the whole yarn and all that there.
Mhm.
I rented that game out and I got bored of it like in the second world. And the reason for that is because easy.
There's no challenge. Yeah.
And I know it's supposed to be sort of made for kids so, but I don't like a game when it's too fucking easy that I can just go through the level pretty much blindfolded without even getting hit.
Mhm.
Like that to me, I want some sort of challenge though
Yeah.
to my games, and you don't really get that with Kirby games for the most part.
Okay.
I got bored with that there then with Kirby's Epic Yarn, and
I know I played a little bit of the game. I actually bought it for my youngest nephew, and he has that on the Wii. I played a little bit of it, and yeah, it's pretty damn easy. I don't think you can even die. Or
yeah, you don't really die in the game though whatsoever. It's just you get hit in it, like yeah, if you get hit or something, you lose your things, and if you get that's so you can't really die in it though anyway.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's an enjoyable game. It's very enjoyable though. It's just like sucking up the different powers and things like that. Now it's a pretty cool game though. It's actually sort of goes along the same way as New Super Mario Bros. Wii in that there's multiplayer as well.
Okay.
But like since there's no one around here for me to play with, then I'm stuck on my solo. You can play through different characters. You can play like as Kirby or King Dedede or Meta Knight and like those characters from the Kirby universe.
Yeah. It's probably local co-op, right?
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course,
Mhm.
because Nintendo, well, hopefully with the Wii U, they actually bring their A game with the whole online component because they haven't done it. So didn't do that. They did do that with the Wii, so
Mhm.
they didn't.
No.
There is a few online, of course, but most of them, Brawl, for example, I think a lot of people were really looking forward to it online and didn't really fly to the moon and didn't really, set the world alight now. But we'll just wait and see. And finally, I played Left 4 Dead 2 for about maybe 15 minutes or so.
Okay.
It
So.
wasn't because the game sucked or anything like that now. It's just I was playing it with Laurie, like I mentioned before,
Mhm.
trying to on last week there, and she was having problems. The game was like stuttering for her. I think she was suffering from lag, or her computer was acting up though, and just like yeah, and I was getting a bit tired as well though. So because this was pretty late, and it's like yeah, let's just call it a night though, and
Mhm.
try it again at night, and haven't tried another night since though, but try to play it again sometime.
All right.
But like yeah, still Left 4 Dead 2. I played a good chunk of it on the 360, and I'm supposed to. Might be playing some later with a few people. I might be playing some with Sammy. He was on here in a previous episode, Tatsplat,
Yeah,
Xbox Live, so should be fun. And another few other people as well.
that's cool.
That's it. So
It's a pretty good game, Left 4 Dead 2.
awesome.
I think they're doing Left 4 Dead 3 pretty soon, right?
I have no idea. Valve don't tend to do three sequels.
Ah, okay. Well, you never know. That's right, they didn't do Half-Life 3, so
Yeah.
who knows?
People are basically pleading for them to up and do one.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn it, Valve, up and trolling us and just release some damn info about Half-Life 3.
Hmm.
Some people say, what's Half-Life Episode 3? Half-Life 3. It's not going to be Half-Life Episode 3 at this point because are you seriously going to release an Episode 3 5 fucking years after Episode 2?
Hmm.
You're not.
Exactly.
Anyway, moving on here. I think if there's anything else you want to say about the games, is that it then?
No, I'm pretty, I think we've talked about pretty much everything we had to talk about.
But anyway, we actually are bringing in a new thing now here that will Dan's sort of set up on the Facebook page, and we're kind of sort of taking a page from the Radical Rascals podcast book, which is the question of the week. So we are. Dan's posted one last week about what games did you get in the Steam Summer Sale?
Yeah.
And a few responses there. I think killed everyone there with the list I had.
Yeah. You did. You had a big chunk of games.
Like I mentioned last week, though, my wallet was crying after
Yeah.
the end, the end of it all, pretty much. But you posted one this week now where you can look. I posted the same question on Twitter and I got a few responses there. And you posted the question on Facebook and got a few responses on there. So you can take the Facebook answers and I can take the Twitter answers. And the question was, of course, Dan, what was the question?
The question of the week, which is pretty much, I guess, a general question, if you want to call it that. It is, what is your favorite video game of all time?
So before we go into the responses, I think we all know what Dance is all right though because he's mentioned it a few times though. But I don't know. I don't think some people actually don't know what mine is. But go ahead, Dance. What is your favorite game of all time? Just to let people know again.
My favorite game of all time, I actually bought it during the Steam Summer Sale again, is Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. That is my favorite game of all time. I have completed the game 3 times, and going from beginning to end 3 times. And first time without the cheats, and the other 2 with the cheats. And I actually started it up a 4th time on the PC, but stopped playing it after a little while. Yeah, my favorite game of all time. The best Grand Theft Auto in my opinion. I know a lot of people like Vice City better than San Andreas, but Vice City is a fantastic game also. But I think San Andreas, it's bigger. You go to different places. You go to Los Santos and San Fierro and all those places. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Venturas, the Las Vegas sort of style city.
Yeah, it's what was it? It's
Venturas.
Las Venturas. That's it. And you have the countryside and all of that. You go to different places, and that's what I think made it interesting. The characters are very, very interesting. A lot of the high-profile actors actually were voicing characters in the game. Sam Jackson.
Christopher Walken, I believe, was it?
Is it Christopher Walken?
I think.
Christopher Walken, I think, was in this, and a whole bunch of other people. So I think, to me, the best Grand Theft Auto game of all time so far, and my favorite game of all time. I'm hoping that 5 brings back that feeling from San Andreas, especially since they're going to the same place that they were in San Andreas. So who knows? Who knows what's going to happen with that? But yeah, San Andreas is my favorite game. What about you, Darren?
Yeah, I was just basically going to say before I mention mine, that trailer, the GTA 5 trailer looks promising.
It does. It does. But so did the GTA 4 trailer.
Yeah, I guess.
And we know that neither of us actually enjoyed 4.
I would say I didn't enjoy it
But
now, though.
it's a
I
good
just
game.
don't.
It's a good game, but
It is a good game. I can vouch for that, but I just don't think it is the best GTA game.
no, it's not a. To me, it's not a real GTA game. I don't know. I know people will disagree, but to me, it's not a real GTA game. You know, it was much too serious, and the whole bowling and going out with friends on dates or stuff like that. I think that was not GTA to me. So
That was like boring stuff though. I think compared to Saints Row 2 that came out later that year,
which was
no
my favorite
contest.
that year. So yeah, it beat out. In my opinion, it was much better than GTA 4. But you know, do we?
I agree. Taste their own, yeah. Anyway, my favorite game of all time is pretty much a kind of very old game at this point now. It's actually 20 years, about 20 years this year, like last year, and that is The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past.
Hmm.
It's one of the very first games that I ever played on the Super Nintendo, if not the first game I ever played on the SNES. It might have been that or Super Mario World, but I do remember one of those two being sort of the first ones I ever played, and I I never got my SNES until the Christmas of '93.
Hmm.
So I basically think I played like at my cousin's and not there beforehand. Because I think they had like a SNES and not there, but then I got my own a few years later, and I got it like a while, afterwards as well. And I absolutely adore that game. Like, I just think that is the perfect Zelda game. No, I've never played a game that's sort of topped it. There's a few games that's come close, but hasn't topped my experience with Zelda. Like, I can honestly go back to that game again and again and just kind of find something new to enjoy about it and just really love playing it. The
Yeah.
various dungeons. Zelda has the most dungeons. It has 11 overall. None of the other ones have come close to it. There's two worlds, the light world and the dark world. Just some of the boss battles are great. The music is awesome, and like I can go on all day about it though. Just a very classic game though. I know a lot of people out there feel the same way, that Legend of Zelda is Link to the Past is their favorite Zelda.
Mhm.
A lot of people like Ocarina of Time. A few people actually like Majora's Mask, which wasn't to me is not really like it's probably one of my least favorites. I only ever played that game once, and I don't really have any incentive to play through it again. And a lot of people really liked Skyward Sword, the latest one that came out.
I know you don't have a high opinion of that one.
I don't have a high opinion of that game either, because I played through the first three dungeons and I stopped playing it. Because I don't know why, but to me that game didn't feel like a proper Zelda game. It just felt really too linear in a way compared to previous Zeldas. The dungeons weren't as creative or imaginative as previous ones in the series, although the third one was pretty cool. Like I think the third one I played in that one
Hmm.
was great.
It's
But
the GTA 4 of the Zelda games.
kinda, yeah, kinda. It is kinda like that in a way. So it is. But a lot of people do love that one. Um, I do like that. I like the motion control. I do like the graphical style.
Hmm.
I'm just not fun. Like I think the world in Skyward Sword is probably the main reason why I don't like it. Like I think it's boring. Like Skyloft is like yeah, and like the actual service world itself is like it's just so lifeless in my opinion
Okay.
compared to like the Zeldas. That's probably why I don't really like it
Hmm.
as much as all the previous ones. Like I wouldn't say I hate it now. I don't think it's a bad game. I'm just not a big fan of it.
Gotcha.
So anyway, before let's get going here, Dennis. Will you check out the responses on Facebook?
Yes, I got a couple of responses on Facebook. I actually have, let's say 6 people who answered. My cousin answered twice. So, okay, let's start. I guess Simon. There's a lot of people I work with or used to work with answered the question. So Simon says, yes, there you go. He says it's not easy at all. The question wasn't easy. But he says, but I'd say Final Fantasy VI, my first RPG, had got me hooked on the series and the genre. Close second is Chrono Trigger, and third, Sudoku series.
Very interesting. He said Chrono Trigger. That's his second favorite game of all time, I believe.
Yeah.
That's actually also as well. Chrono Trigger is my second favorite game of all time, and the fact is, I only ever played that game for the first time 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It came out here on the DS 3 years ago, but like I absolutely love that game. It's a brilliant RPG.
I really need to play it. Like I watched the Giant Bomb
Endurance
run, and it looks really, really good. It looks like a really enjoyable game. I really need to get to play that game. Final Fantasy VI, very good game, also.
I played it. I got the PlayStation version of it because, again, never came out here. Like the first Final Fantasy game we got here on release was Final Fantasy VII. We never got the previous 6 ones beforehand. So
can you get them now? I guess you can get them.
Yes, we got them now because they're like different versions, like these ones that came out in the PlayStation, like Anthology and ones like that now. But in terms of like being released on the original platforms, the first one we got was Final Fantasy VII on the PlayStation, which is my favorite Final Fantasy because it's the one that got me into RPGs.
Yeah.
But yeah, Final Fantasy VI I played a bit of, like a good chunk off on the PlayStation version. Actually, we was really enjoying it. Then it made a fucking cock up, and I haven't played it since.
Okay. You have a lot of problems with your games, seemingly.
No, it wasn't like it locked up or anything. Like I screwed up.
Oh, you screwed up. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay, there you go.
Because
British slang, I don't really understand.
cock up's just miscase screwed up.
Okay.
British slang. Cock up means kind of screwed up.
Okay.
Not anything like sexual or anything like that. No.
Yeah. Okay. Good thing we're not on the Rad Rascals because you would have.
Oh yeah, I would have gotten up and molested. But oh, that's not going to go there now.
There you go. You're digging your hole deeper now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so I guess we should move on to the next answer.
Basically make things worse.
Yeah. Another French-Canadian name, Louis Philippe, said that probably a game on the good old NES, Contra.
Which was known as Probotector here.
Probotector?
We never actually got the Contra one.
Okay.
It's pretty much the same game. It's exactly the same game. Just everything's sort of the same, except you don't play as a human. You play as like an android, pretty much.
Okay.
So I don't know what the reason for that is. I never looked it up or anything, though.
Okay, that's kind of crazy.
But that's the deal.
Okay. So the Contra is legendary. That game is awesome. So, very good choice there.
I never played it I've never actually played the original Contra. The only one I've ever played of the original sort of was the arcade version that came on Xbox Live Arcade.
Oh, you never played the original Contra?
Never played the original Contra.
Okay. Okay. Well, I guess we should move on then to the next.
Yes. Go on.
My cousin actually posted twice. Benoit posted 2 answers. He goes, clearly World of Warcraft for me. Nothing comes close when it comes to PvP. So I know you played a ton of World of Warcraft.
I wouldn't say I played a ton of it now, though, but I played probably a good chunk of it, though.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just one of those games. Like if you don't know people you know who played, though, it just tends become a game that gets kind of boring. That's kind of the reason why I've sort of, like, I've gone back to that game several times, resubscribed several times, and just played it for maybe like a couple of days, stopped to a week, and it's like, yeah, I'm just done with this game again because there's no point.
Hmm. And he posted again. He reposted. He said, MMORPG World of Warcraft. We talked about it, followed by EverQuest. EverQuest, I haven't never played that.
Never played EverQuest either, no.
Okay. Flight Sim Wing Commander Privateer. I haven't played that one. I played Wing Commander 2 and 3. But I haven't played Privateer. Wing Commander series, very good series. A lot of FMV in that, and a lot of stars actually in that in that game. I know you played a little bit of the Wing Commander, Darren.
Yeah, the third one I played off mainly because of the fact, I think, sort of because of that Jam Bomb
Yeah.
video. I got the third and fourth one on GOG.com.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, yeah, I'll get it when I get a proper joystick because that game is not friendly with a mouse.
No, do not play that with a mouse. With Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill's in it, and the guy who C. Thomas Howell. Is it C. Thomas Howell?
Thomas F. Wilson.
Thomas F. Wilson. Sorry, that's not the
F.
same person at all. Guy who plays Biff in Back to the Future.
Yeah.
And I think Malcolm McDowell, is it? Yeah, Malcolm McDowell.
Yes, he's in it as well.
Yeah, there are a couple of actually pretty big names in those games. Very enjoyable games. Really, really liked those games back in the day. Haven't played Privateer though. And his final answer, which is the first-person shooter, Duke Nukem, the original one, followed by Unreal Tournament. He didn't specify which one, but
I assume he meant the original one.
probably the original, which was excellent. But in my opinion, 2004 is the very best online shooter ever to be made, ever in the history of online shooters.
And if you say otherwise, you're wrong!
Yeah. Fuck Call of Duty, fuck Battlefield. Unreal Tournament 2004 is the very best online shooter ever. So, there you go. Any opinion on those games, Darren?
I never played, like World of Warcraft I played, though, as I said, mentioned. I never played EverQuest. Wing Commander Privateer, never played. Duke Nukem, I assume he meant Duke Nukem 3D now,
Yeah.
which I've played, but I've never played much of. Because I was back then, I think I was like a teenager when I first played it though, and I was kind of one of those, bit of an immature one where I always played it for like, the part where you get to the strip joint and fucking keep going, basically handing the money to the stripper and showing her like our tits, like our thing, to shake it baby, you wanna dance? Shake it baby, you wanna dance? I just did that over and over and over again.
Yeah. Yep, that was a pretty immature game. Gotta say. Like people played that game like they always played the Leisure Suit Larry games, just to see the sexual content and all that. So
exactly.
Which was me. I did play the Leisure Suit Larry games to see all the sexual content in them. But yeah, we were young back then, so who knows? That was last year, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, Pierre actually answered by saying so many good games, but one of the first ones was Golden Axe on Sega.
Yes, which is a classic beat 'em up.
Yep, Golden Axe, excellent game, absolutely fantastic game.
Yeah, I remember fondly playing the first two on the Sega Mega Drive back in the day and really enjoyed them. I never played the third one and I never even knew that the third one existed until years later.
Yeah, the third one, is that the one that they completely went out of the Golden Axe thing and did like you were riding animals all over the place, and I know they made a Golden Axe that way, like some sort of first person or third person shooter type of thing.
Do you mean the one that came out in the 360 there a few years back?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
No, it's not that one now. There's one actually came out on the Sega Mega Drive or Genesis, it's Golden Axe 3, and has a very different graphic style to the previous two. And I actually think it looks worse. And I think it came out in '94, I think. And I think it looks worse than the first two.
Really?
So it does. Yeah.
I've never played that one. I know I played Golden Axe. I played it at the arcade actually. The first time that I played that game. And yeah, as were all the games back in the 80s, it used to eat up your quarters and be really, really hard. And
Yeah.
so,
That's where arcades were like back in the day. Unfortunately, they're no longer existent.
nope. Saw a couple of them when I went to Wildwood, but it's like there's like 3 video games. Like one's Guitar Hero, the other one is Street Fighter, and the other one is what was the other one? I can't remember. Anyway, it's not important. So there's like they call them arcades, but there's you have the skeet that they call it, where you have to throw the wooden balls into circles, and you get points for that. I think
Skateball, I have no idea, but I think that's what it's called or something along those lines.
yeah, there's like 3,000 machines of those in the place, and the claws that you send the claw down to grab a
Oh yeah,
animal thing.
they're fucking rigged. Some of them, they are so rigged.
Okay, they are rigged because I tried the game. I tried getting some stuffed animals for my sister's kids, and I mean the claw doesn't even close.
No, it doesn't close fully. That's the problem with it.
Yeah, and then whoop, you got him. Oh, you drop him just as you go to place him in the chute. So yeah, that's pretty much what arcades are now, which is crappy. But I mean, we're video game enthusiasts, so
Yeah, we're not skateball or those kind of claw machine enthusiasts now.
and I'm not the biggest Street Fighter fan, so I don't really give a crap about the Street Fighter video game that's in arcades. So I know a lot of people are Street Fighter fans, and great, good on you, but I cannot play that game. I suck at Street Fighter, so.
So do I. But that didn't stop me from fucking paying £100 pound for the arcade stick.
Wow.
What was I thinking?
Did you use it to play Mortal Kombat?
No, because I got Mortal Kombat on the PS3.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Okay.
Because I had Kratos. And that was the thing I got. Yeah, I got Mortal Kombat. Yay! Oh yeah, PSN is down. Because that's when that happened.
Oh yeah.
PSN hacking scandal.
Yes, that's right. I remember that. Yeah, well, I guess those are arcades now. We could go on to that, but instead we'll go on to the next answer to our question. Somebody that might be familiar to you guys, Carolyn Allen.
Yeah, for people who don't know, she's Andy from the Rad Rascals' fiance.
Yeah.
So if you listen to that podcast, then you know who she is. And the fact is, congratulations, because they're getting married this next weekend, I believe.
Congratulations, absolutely. Yeah. That's a French name. Is she French? Do you know if she's French?
I believe she's fluent in French.
Okay.
I think she can speak French, though. I don't know too much about her, though, unfortunately.
Well,
I have to ask Andy.
Yeah. Well, her answer is there are so many, as you know. But one of the first I managed to complete was Okami, and I know you, sir, are very fond of that game.
Yes, they're actually listing off my favorite games of all time in order. First is Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. The second is Chrono Trigger. The third is Okami. And yes, I'm very glad someone mentioned Okami because I absolutely love that game and very much looking forward to the HD remastered version of it's coming out in a couple of months' time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely buying that game again. I don't care. I already got on the PS2. I've got on the Wii. And I'll be getting on the PS3.
I bet it's going to it's going to look gorgeous on in HD. It's going to look fantastic. It already looked pretty good on What was it? PS1 that it came out?
PS2
Yeah.
and Wii.
Yeah. Okay. So I should actually try it. I know a lot of people love that game, so I should actually give it a shot and try it. Maybe when it comes out in HD.
You should.
I should, yeah. And finally, George, who is one of Derek's friends, answered, I can narrow it down to maybe 12 games. So this isn't an easy question for me.
Well, yeah, the other guy actually mentioned 12 games, didn't he? So,
So I guess, yeah, he didn't give any answer, no.
all right.
So no answer from George, sadly. But that's pretty much what came up on Facebook. So what do you have on Twitter, Darren?
I've got 4 responses on Twitter now. Lord of Ultima, his is FFT. What's the FFT, you may say? Final Fantasy Tactics, I presume.
Okay.
Which I've never played, but I know a lot of people really like the Final Fantasy Tactics games, like the France ones that came on the DS and that, like the GBN DS, and some, but I've never played any of those games, so I don't have any opinion on the matter. I don't think you've ever played any of those tactics games, have you, Dennis?
No, I haven't. I haven't played those types of games.
Okay. And the next response is from XLayered Gamer X, Max, who I have to basically say thank you very much because he's kind of one of our avid listeners of the podcast. He pretty much listens every week.
Yeah.
And sort of, we communicate pretty often on Twitter, so we do. His is Heart of Darkness. And he basically put in brackets, haven't you guessed? Lol, because his profile pic on Twitter is the cover of Heart of Darkness, which is unfortunately another game I've never played.
I sadly have no idea what that is.
It's a game on the PlayStation 1.
Okay.
I think it's some sort of, I have no idea though. I think it's some sort of like, platform or adventure sort of game though, but I'm sure Max can actually correct me there on the situation.
To clarify.
A very good friend of mine on Twitter, Broland1, Ben, co-host of the Radical Rascals, said Castlevania 3 on the NES, the best in the series, and even 20 years later still remains unsurpassed in my opinion. Now, Castlevania 3 I have played on the Wii Virtual Console, and that game is pretty good. It's hard, but I have to disagree with him because the best Castlevania game is Super Castlevania 4.
Oh, a little debate here.
Yeah. Super Castlevania 4 is my favorite Castlevania game. Absolutely love it. To me it's just perfect though. Just like the fact is you can whip in like 8 different directions. The controls are quite tight though. This has great music. It's really cool levels and bosses though, and just to me it's the perfect Castlevania game. A lot of people love Symphony of the Night. People like 3, but I think 4 is the best. And finally, Sammy, X-Tasplat X, says, Hunting Ground on the PS2. Yummy horror goodness. Love Bioshock is a close second though.
First game I have never heard of, actually.
Yeah, it's one of those kind of, horror, survival sort of horror games that sort of come from Japan or whatnot though that you might not have heard of. Like yourself, but I think I've heard of it though, but I've never played it.
Okay, and I have to agree with her. Close second, BioShock, phenomenal game.
Yeah, it's a great game though. Although I'm not really a big fan of it as other people are. Like I think it's a good game and all there, but I'm not like lovey-dovey over like gaga over it now.
Okay.
But I still think it's a very good game. Like I love the world of Rapture. Rapture is just one of the I think one of the greatest sort of gaming worlds ever created.
I was actually talking about that game with one of my friends at work this week, and he said the first time when the plane crashes and you see Rapture for the first time, that the feeling that you got, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember that feeling when you crash land and you go into Rapture for the first time.
Yeah, you go down like the sort of spear thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
and then go like down like the elevator or wherever it is, and you see Rapture, and you hear I think Andrew Wright, you hear his like audio recording happening or something,
Hmm.
and just says it goes like Rapture, and then you just see Rapture and all its glory. Like that is amazing though.
Yeah, that was phenomenal. One of the best moments in video games, actually.
I do love Rapture, and we'll just have to wait and see what Columbia is going to be like now in Bioshock Infinite.
Yes,
'Cause it looks pretty damn cool as well.
yeah.
This like whole city in the sky.
Cannot freaking wait. Cannot freaking wait for Infinite. Man, it's gonna be a great game.
So anyway, that is all for our responses. Now we'll actually do another key question of the week. Now so we will at the end.
Yeah, we
Um,
got a fair few answers. I'm actually surprised.
yeah, it's nice. So we'll do that though, as long as we get like the sort of normal responses we get like this time here,
Hmm.
seeing people or whatever. Like I'll be happy enough though. Anyway, so basically we're stealing our page from the Mad Rascals.
Yeah.
But I don't like they don't mind though. I listen to their podcast week in and week out.
Hey,
And I
they
love
stole
their
our 3-hour show. We're stealing their questions. That's how.
yeah. No, we stole their 3 hour show.
Oh, we did? Okay. I thought we
Yeah.
did the first one. Wait,
No.
okay, that's right. When you went on there, that's when they started doing 3-hour shows.
Yeah, that's when I did the 3 hour stuff. Yeah. So I am plagued them with the 3 hours, and if like their recent 2 episodes that don't have been over the 3 hour mark
Yeah,
once again.
the 3-hour
Three-
bug.
Yeah, more 3 hour club members.
Yep.
So anyway, moving on to the main topic of discussion here now. We were going to say about is DLC.
Yeah, we stated that at the beginning of the podcast.
Now DLC is one of those kind of sort of touchy subjects in a way now, because there's people out there who think DLC, they cannot stand DLC. They just think it's kind of has ruined the gaming industry in a way,
Hmm.
and plagued it, because like pretty much most games nowadays come and have some form of DLC.
Yeah.
Whether it's like extra levels, or costumes, or like weapon skins and things like that.
Hmm.
Nearly every, like, especially big blockbuster games,
Yeah.
have downloadable content,
Hmm.
and it has come into effect a lot this generation of gaming, because back when the 360 launched and some of the games come out, there was like DLC here and there for most of the big games.
It was very rare, though.
There was very rare though, but like you had like map packs for Call of Duty 2.
Hmm.
You had like these extra missions for extra quests and things like that for like Oblivion, Horse Armor.
Oh,
Remember that, Dennis?
Oh my God, yeah, I do remember.
Where
Farmer.
kind of some people kind of went, "What the hell?" when the Horse Armor DLC was released.
Oh man, yeah, I remember that.
But sometimes, like, but honestly though, that's kind of a lifetime ago now, because it's like been 6 years, over 6 years since that was released, that whole Horse Armor.
Hmm.
And since then, it's sort of kind of steadily grown.
Into a disease.
It's pretty much into a disease, is correct. Now, I don't know about you, Des. Like, what is your opinion on DLC overall?
I guess for my part, I don't really get DLC. If there's a game that I really enjoyed, like let's say Saints Row 3, I will get the DLC that has to do with the game because I want to play more of the game. I won't go back and replay the same thing over again. Like I want some new stuff to play, having to do with that game. But that being said, if the DLC is done poorly, as it was in Saints Row the Third, that kind of pisses me off because I did buy, and this is the first time that I've done this. I bought a season pass for Saints Row the Third because I
And
actually,
that was 2,400 points, wasn't it?
yes, it was, and I actually because I loved Saints Row the Third, and I wanted to play some more, so I got the season pass. Played the first DLC. I was like, holy shit, this is absolutely horrible. I actually played the first DLC with Derek. Um, After that, second DLC, I said, oh well, it's more story based. We'll see how it goes. Pretty boring. And the third one also not very good. And I think that's pretty much what there has been 3 pieces of DLC released for Saints Row the Third, and all 3 of them have been crap. So I don't know. I paid 2,400 points for that. And,
Was there 3? I think I thought there was 4.
is it 4 or 3?
I have no idea though, but even if it was 3, then you actually probably overpaid because I believe each of the pieces of content were 560 points separately.
Yeah.
So if there was only 3, that you got ripped off.
And I'm not that type of guy who's going to go out and get like clothes packs and car packs and stuff like that, that they release like on a constant basis. Like, oh, get these clothes for your guy, get these cars, get these. I'm not the type of guy who's going to go back into Saints Row and say, oh, I got this new jacket on, I can play Saints Row the Third with this new jacket. I don't give a crap, So I want content. I'd like to see content that's actually good and if we talk about good content, Fallout 3 actually had some very good DLC. Operation Anchorage was garbage. The loot was great, but the DLC was not very good. But I guess the rest of the DLC that came for Fallout 3 was magnificent. I really enjoyed. I played all of them, by the way. There was
The Pit,
Hits,
Broken
Steel,
and Point Lookout, I think it was.
Point Lookout, which was phenomenal. I really liked that one.
And Mothership Zeta.
Mothership Zeta, so-so, but it still was better than Operation Anchorage.
The last one there was probably great for the fact that you get these cool alien weapons and kind of help you along because you get like these like alien weapons and you get loads and loads of ammo for them.
Absolutely, I think I have one weapon that has infinite ammo.
Oh really?
Yeah, I think so, if I remember correctly. It's been a long time since I played Fallout 3, but I think I had a weapon that had infinite ammo or something like that. And I played a shitload of Fallout 3. I actually finished, when I finished Mothership Zeta, I went back and played some more Fallout 3, did some more quests, and it had gotten to a point where it was really easy. I mean, like the new weapons that I had, the enemies were really easy to kill. So same thing for New Vegas. New Vegas had pretty good DLC. The first DLC for New Vegas wasn't that good. It was actually pretty hard. And I think it's something Blues. I can't remember what it was.
I forget what the name of those ones are called.
I should look these things up before I talk.
I think the first one was called Blood Money.
Blood Money. Yes, that's it. Blood Money.
And the second was Old World Blues or something.
Old World Blues, which was absolutely phenomenal. That one was fantastic.
And I think it was only 3 of them. I think there were 3 or 4. I think another one was called Lonesome Road.
Yes, I haven't played Lonesome Road yet.
I'm gonna check these out myself here just to. But continue anyway, Dennis.
Yeah, instead of talking out of our asses, we're gonna check them.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Yeah, so I guess Fallout has pretty good DLC, which actually forward the story and brings new interesting things to the table. I talked about Minerva's Den for BioShock 2, which has nothing to do with the original BioShock 2 game, but is an excellent piece of DLC. Off the top of my head, I can't really remember other. I guess the Left 4 Dead DLC is pretty good.
I wouldn't really say that's great. They're really that great though, to be honest, because you're paying like you don't get really a whole lot from them. But like,
yeah, they're not great, but they're still not bad.
But the thing good about the DLC is, though, if you actually get the, PC version, you get the sort of DLC for that stuff free, of course.
Hmm.
Whereas, of course, on the 360, you have to pay for it because of the whole, Microsoft sort of, policies, which kind of sucks, though, but that's what you get, though.
Exactly. Yeah.
Um, just moving on here from that Fallout New Vegas, the ones, it's Dead Money, not Blood Money, Dead Money, Honest Hearts,
Okay.
Old World Blues, and Lonesome Road.
Yeah, I played the first three, and they were all pretty good. Um,
I haven't played much of Fallout New Vegas, so I've played like maybe a couple of hours of it. I got it pretty cheap though. It was on sale and I got it pretty cheap along with the DLC for pretty cheap as well, like the first three.
okay.
And then I got like the last one when it was down, when it was a cheap price as well, like a few months afterwards.
Okay.
But like I haven't played much of Fallout New Vegas, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, it was pretty good. The Fallout DLC is pretty good, but I guess you get good DLC, you get bad DLC. It pretty much
One of the, no, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, pretty much depends on how you liked the game, and you know, I don't know. It all depends. It all depends on a whole lot of things, but some of them, most of them rip you off in DLC style, I guess.
Yes, they do. One like moving on, you say going on about Saints Row the Third now. You absolutely really loved that game, and you just basically wanted to play more of it. Therefore, you got the DLC,
Hmm.
and you played them, and you didn't really think they were that great.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same thing with me with Castlevania Lords of Shadow. I think that game is brilliant. Not people don't feel the same way. I really enjoyed it though, and there was two DLC packs that came out for it. There were sort of extra chapters, and I believe there were 800 points apiece, and they were not worth it because the first one I think was Reverie, I believe it was called.
Okay.
It was probably about an hour or so tops, hour or two maybe tops. The second one, which was Resurrection, which was basically 2 levels of a boss fight pretty much, and that was it. And both of them were 800 points, and they were not worth 800 points.
No.
Like $10, but roughly about, £7 or so. No, they were not worth that points that I unfortunately paid for them. And that was kind of bad DLC. And it did later come out that the fact is that yeah, that DLC was rushed because the fact is they were kind of pressured to do DLC for it.
Hmm.
Afterwards, like a few months back, I think it's like a few weeks ago, or some story came out from it about it.
Hmm.
But yeah, the DLC for Lords of Shadow, fortunately, kind of bad, and kind of hindered my love for the game a little bit though because of that. But I still really do love Lords of Shadow, and I'm really looking forward to Lords of Shadow 2 when it comes out.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, the DLC is kind of a kind of strange thing, but we can't go on about DLC without mentioning a certain publisher developer who pretty much can be kind of a lot of people's kind of worst enemy in a way in terms of DLC because we know they tend to milk the DLC front dry.
Hmm.
They begin with the letter C. Capcom.
Yes. Capcom.
Capcom are quite renowned for milking the whole DLC front dry. If you ever played the Street Fighter games, and if you ever go on the marketplace and look at the stuff there, you know that most weeks though, there tends to be a couple of DLC stuff for Capcom games.
Hmm.
Like when Street Fighter came out, there was just basically costume packs, and they were cheap. They were like a couple of pound each, a couple of bucks each.
Hmm.
And if you want them all, you're going to pay up the ass, pretty much.
Yeah.
and it's still continuing on. Like the Dragon's Dogma, which was released a few weeks ago, not a few weeks, a few months ago. Nearly every week, week goes by, and there's always DLC stuff for it as well. I don't know what it is exactly though. I don't know if it's like extra skins or it's like different like quests or things like that now.
Hmm.
But there's these new things that come out from it as well. And a lot of people really do hate Capcom for that there.
Yes, I do.
Um, and the fact is they tend to, rebrand, they release their same stuff like not too long after. Marvel vs. Capcom 3, for example.
Yeah, absolutely.
The original one came out in 2011. The first one, like February, and then it was released again 9 months later, the Ultimate version.
Yeah.
And for the same game, two different versions of the same game that released in the same year, it's kind of a bit of a criminal in a way.
Yeah.
Actually
agree.
So it is. Like I played Marvel vs. Capcom 3, I rented it. I think it's a pretty good fighter though, but I'm not one of those, elite guys you see on Evo and those streams online on Twitch where they can pretty much fucking do combos fucking with their eyes closed.
Yeah.
Basically murder you. Silly.
Hmm.
But it's like Capcom, a lot of people do hate Capcom though for that though, and I don't necessarily hate them though, but they're kind of one of the main culprits for the way sort of DLC is in a way nowadays. And because just the fact is, I said DLC packs all up the ass.
Hmm.
And most of the time you have to pay for it up the ass sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's not worth it.
And some of the DLC, one big thing that people don't like is some of the DLC is already on the disc.
Yes.
You just buy an unlock and you unlock the DLC that's already on there, which is
Exactly. That's one of the things a lot of people don't like as well. Especially with the Street Fighter Cross Tekken. There's a bunch of characters to come out on DLC, but the fact is they're already on the disc. And people are not happy with the fact is that they have to pay to unlock those characters to get them. But the fact is that there's people out there that they've gotten their way around it. They've sort of hacked their way into locking them. Because there has been videos online that shown those characters being fought, one, I think two of them were Blank and Zangief.
Hmm. Well, that's what's going to happen if you continue doing stuff like that. People are going to find ways to hack your game and get your hidden stuff anyway. So.
Yeah, exactly, the hidden stuff as well. It's yeah, screw this. I'm not gonna fucking pay for this bullshit though. But the thing is, some people do it though to have on disc DLC because the fact is, not everyone out there has the most reliable internet connections.
Hmm.
And somewhere, there's a side of me says, I can sort of go with that. Just yeah, okay, I agree with that there. That's the way you have on disc DLC now. Because the fact is, not everyone has the greatest internet connection, and for them to download this, if it's a big map pack or something, and it's already on the disc. It's okay, yeah, I get that. I sort of get the reason why, because it's going to be a couple of 100 megabytes, a gig or something, and for someone who doesn't have a great internet connection, it's going to take them ages to download it.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, if it's stupid things unlocking characters and stupid costume packs and things like that, I don't like it whatsoever anyway. That should be stuff years ago, that stuff wasn't, you had to pay for that stuff.
Hmm.
That was stuff you unlocked by going through the game.
Exactly, yeah.
You play through the game, you beat, different characters, unlock different characters, unlock different costumes, and, abilities and things like that. That's what you did that back in the day, back before the whole DLC front.
Hmm.
You basically, you've worked for your stuff. And nowadays, most people don't do it. Another criminal act as well, there's some things as well, there's actually pay for cheats for cheats DLC,
Hmm.
in a way as well, which is kind of silly. Like a few years ago, some of the EA games had you pay for to get the able to use these cheats on certain sports games. Like they unlock the cheats out. You can't use these cheats unless you spend so many points.
Yeah.
Which is just a bit ridiculous as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like I don't get whatsoever. It is just quite criminal in that fact,
Yeah.
though.
But let me tell you, back in the day, we were talking about Unreal Tournament a little earlier on. When I used to play Unreal Tournament on the PC, if I was playing and I didn't have the map would automatically download, and you could play on the map. You didn't have to spend I don't know, $5 to download the map.
Yeah.
If you played, you didn't have the map, it downloaded automatically, and boom, you could play it. There was no problem at all with that. Now it's like if you don't have the map, well, hey, go to your online shop and pay $5, get the map, and you can play on it afterwards. So
Yeah. Certain PC games still tend to do that. You can still get like maps for free.
hmm
Like an actual Left 4 Dead 2, that Cold Stream DLC that came out recently.
yeah,
That style you can download that for free on Steam because it's Valve.
okay,
And the actual Left 4 Dead 2 actually has the whole Left 4 Dead 1 campaigns in it as well now. As well as the Cold Stream DLC. But in that Cold Stream DLC, you're going to have to pay for that on 360.
yep, which is crappy.
It's crap.
Yeah.
It sucks, but that's the way it is.
hmm
Now, there's one DLC, there's one game or series that we haven't sort of come across yet now, and I'd like to know what your opinion of it is now, Dennis, and that is Rock Band / Guitar Hero.
Oh yes, of course, yeah.
Now, I actually do commend the fact for harmonics especially, and the fact is that Rock Band series has been going for nearly 5 years coming now.
hmm
And they have been consistently still been releasing DLC week in and week out for that series.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now, not every week is going to be great. Has great tunes now.
hmm
Like I don't know what the last tracks I bought in Rock Band,
hmm
but you do have to commend the fact though that you are still getting DLC for that series
Yeah, constantly every week or pretty
every
much.
week.
Pretty much.
Like there might be 3 tracks, there might be 2 tracks. Like they don't really tend to do the whole album stuff anymore now.
No, they don't.
Like they had that was sort of one of their kind of big sort of deals.
hmm
They're sort of going on about the details of Rock Band and the DLC front, where like, oh wait, hey, you can download this full album. You can download the full album of the Cars or Foo Fighters and
Yeah.
it's like certain ones like Red Hot Chili Peppers and ones like that though.
hmm
And you can play all them. You could like buy the separate tracks if you just want to buy a few songs from it, or you can just buy the whole album for this amount.
Yeah.
And I think that's still pretty cool. The fact is that they still do it to this day. Like not all as I say, not all the tracks are great. Like some of the tracks you might not even heard of, but
hmm
that's the good thing. Rock bands still do it to this day. Guitar Hero unfortunately stopped doing it because the fact is that their games were going pretty much belly up.
Yeah.
And like say, yeah, Guitar Hero Rock didn't do very well, so yeah, we're just gonna stop doing DLC after this time.
Yeah. We're just gonna stop doing Guitar Hero.
Yeah, we're gonna stop doing Guitar Hero now. Now Guitar Hero World Tour, I remember when it came out, and then the DLC came out for it. The DLC for it was ridiculous because for the most part, they had bands I never fucking heard of.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah. That's true.
You're getting like certain songs and bands from rock bands, like, oh yeah, cool, new Metallica song pack, oh new Bon Jovi or whatever,
hmm
like bands you've heard of, bands you want to play and rock out to those songs.
Yeah.
But then you get these like obscure bands that from the Guitar Hero side that some people I'm sure would have gone apeshit over, but
Mm.
not the whole, general
The whole universe.
population.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were like, "Who's this?
Yeah.
Never heard of them in my life.
Exactly.
So why am I going to pay X number of points for this sort of flipping one that could end up being a little bit of shit?"
Hmm. Yeah. And I have to say, um, as you know, I'm a huge consumer of Rock Band DLC, which I completely forgot to talk about. But yeah, I'm a huge consumer of Rock Band DLC. I think I have over 200 songs that I
Oh, gee.
downloaded from the DLC, and it's funny because each time, I'll go back to Rock Band once in a while and play it, and each time I turn it on, I'm excited to see what new songs they have in the DLC that I can download. And each and every single time that I turn on Rock Band and go into the DLC, there's at least one or two songs that I download each and every time.
There's a bunch of songs that I still have yet to download. But there is a bunch I want to download still.
Hmm.
But the fact is, there's just so many now that you don't know where to start. Like you say, oh, I want to buy this song, I want to buy this song, and then you go down the line, it's like, oh, fuck, I should have got this song instead. Because the fact is, there's just so damn many now.
Yeah.
Like, I've still yet to get the second Evanescence track pack. So I have. Like, I got the first one, I need to get the second one.
Hmm.
But the fact is, I do like the DLC for Rock Band now. The fact is, there's certain bands so that I wish they'd have like the rights to or whatever to have their songs or whatever.
I am on the Rock Band DLC page right now, and there is the page. Well, the page itself, you need to scroll for about 20 seconds to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah,
There's a ton of DLC, and I've
it has to be several thousand at this point anyway.
yeah, several
Easily.
thousand. And if I check the recent DLC, um, I guess there was Carrie Underwood, which I don't know. I think it's country music.
Yeah, she's like American Pop Idol winner, so she was some years ago.
There's All American Rejects, Mudvayne, Rise Against, Daughtry, which I think are pretty popular. Daughtry Pack, B-52's Love Shack, um, Young the Giant, I have no idea who that is. Um, Foster the People, do not know who that is either. And The Strokes, Undercover of Darkness, which are the latest DLC offerings from Harmonix. And those are July 24, July 17, July 10. You see, each and every week there's like DLC there,
Yeah,
which is
and there's still like something like every now and again there is like songs you want to still get though as well,
yeah.
which is
I would
good.
get Love Shack. I mean, it's a pretty good song. So
Yeah.
it's still songs that you check out and you go, my God, this is it's pretty good. So
I think the last track pack I got was Bullet for My Valentine.
okay,
I think I had a track pack out there a while back when I got it.
in May,
But I think I was a few months ago.
the end of May,
May, I think that was the last one then, if that was when it was released.
with Your Betrayal, Screaming, Aim Fire, Tears Don't Fall.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I love the Tears Don't Fall song.
Mhm.
I wanted to play it.
Yeah, there's still a lot of there's still Iron Maiden coming out, Rage Against the Machine, Paramore, still pretty big bands being on the Rock Band DLC list, which is pretty cool.
And there's a Rock Band Blitz that's coming out soon as well.
Yeah, exactly. Rock Band Blitz coming out um, Xbox Live Arcade actually. So
Yeah, I believe it's coming out in September, isn't it? Or late August, I
uh,
think it is.
yeah, let me check here. I was actually on the page. August 28, 2012 for
Yeah.
PlayStation 3 and 29th for Xbox 360. And there's a track list on the site and on the Wikipedia if you check. And there's some pretty good songs. That Cult of Personality by Living Color, which wrestling fans will know.
Which was also in Guitar Hero 3 as well.
Yes. I'm Still Standing by Elton John, Jungle Booty by Kool and the Gang. Uh, there's a whole lot of 1 Week by Bare Naked Ladies, which is a great song, by the way. um, Shout by Tears for Fears, which is phenomenal. So you see, there's still pretty good songs coming out.
Yeah, there's just a whole plethora of songs that could still yet to like come out though. And the fact is, the good thing about that as well, you can use those songs to play in Rock Band 3 as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Like in the Rock Band, if you have the Rock Band games.
So
It's great.
that's pretty good. I mean, if that's good DLC. That's DLC that I can get behind. It's the way they do it, the way and the price that they sell it, it hasn't changed from the very beginning since Rock Band 1.
No,
I think it's been the same price.
exactly.
So that's pretty good. That's DLC that I can get behind. That I bought a whole lot of, as I said, like 200 songs or something. So I can get behind the Rock Band stuff. How about you? Any DLC that you actually can get behind? That you can?
Yeah, basically the Rock Band ones I could definitely get behind as well. Like I really enjoyed. Like I've bought a bunch of tracks from it, so I have though not as much as you now, but I have bought a few. So I have like I think I bought like 100, over 100 tracks though. But like as I said, there's like several thousand.
Yeah.
And also as well, there's the whole Rock Band network side, which has these like very little known tracks. These like tracks from probably unsigned bands or like very little known bands.
Yeah,
And
independent.
you can try that.
Yeah.
You can try them out as well. And the fact is, there's like trial ones of them, which you could probably download for free and try them out. And if you like it, you can actually buy the full version.
Yeah.
Which is I think is pretty cool as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
So Harmonix does in a way does DLC in the right way.
Yeah.
Not like fucking costume packs and weapon skins, like the Gears of War 3 weapon skin pack, which whoever paid the 3,600 points for all of them is a complete fucking idiot.
Chef Gertzman.
Yeah.
He did.
Well, he did it. Yeah, he did it for certain purposes, like work purposes, I guess. But whoever did it for their own fucking, outside that now, who pretty much wasted their actual money off it for stupid like that there, then is an idiot.
Yeah, I agree.
Like there's like loads of weapons. Like I don't get that. Why?
Mm-hmm.
We could go on all day about DLC though, but that's kind of what we feel about it though. Like the whole, whenever it's like content heavy DLC, when you get loads of quests, like in, like sort of like Borderlands and Oblivion and Skyrim, like those kind of like things, they're good because most of them you get a good number of hours and you feel like it's worth it.
Fallout.
So you do.
Yeah, you got a couple of good ones that fall out.
Yeah. But the ones first like Saints Row, third, like California Lords of Shadow, like weapon skins and costume packs and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
We don't like that.
Nope. And we don't like Capcom.
Pretty much it.
So there you go.
I once said I would like Capcom.
Yeah.
I just don't like
their methods, I guess.
Their motives.
Yeah.
What their DLC methods, pretty much.
I can't wait to see what they do with Resident Evil 5. 6. Rather, yeah. 6.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see.
Yeah, you only actually get the one campaign actually, even though they're going on about the 3 campaigns. They're only giving you the one campaign. You have to spend. You have to download. You have to spend like $20 or whatever for the other, for the other 2.
I wouldn't even be surprised, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That actually unlock the ending. So if you want to see the true ending to this game, be as much download, pay this much for it.
Yeah. That's it.
Which is kind of the same thing for Surge Wrath.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to spend points with it to get the actual true ending of that game.
Yeah.
Play through it, but like I said before, I thought that was worth it. It was fucking awesome.
And we haven't talked about the whole sports, how they do their, if you want to get boosters or like I play a ton of NHL and stuff like that, and if you want to get boosters, you can earn them by playing the game, or you can just cheat, well, quote unquote, cheat your way through the game and download them for a certain amount of points.
That was kind of saying, I was kind of what I was sort of mentioning when I was talking about earlier about, the cheats.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's kind of like along those lines. So like you can like work your way through them, or basically work for the thing, or you can just say, hey, I couldn't care less. I don't have the time. I'll just pay a couple of dollars to download boosters and stat bonuses and things like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Those are done in a lot of games like Madden, NHL, FIFA, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I guess that's not a deplorable method to work, because if you don't want to spend hours on end on the same game instead of you want to upgrade your guy the proper way, you can say, well, fuck this, I'm gonna pay a certain amount of money and my guy's gonna be awesome to start with. So that's not really deplorable. I guess some people will do that, but that's not my way of playing the game. So I don't know.
Yeah, but there is people who go that route.
Yeah, exactly. And the whole FIFA scandal, FIFA 12 scandal that happened with the
Yeah, that was the whole different sort of story though. It's like this whole card system though.
yeah.
Unfortunately, some people's accounts got sort of hacked in a way and got their credit card info
Hmm.
stolen pretty much. Some people went to town, and Danny O'Dwyer was fortunately one of those victims.
Hmm.
So he was, there's a few people like fucking about £200 or sort of spent on these like little Ultimate Team card things on like the
Yeah.
FIFA stuff, and pretty much said, I'm not getting this game.
Yeah. And I actually got it, but I didn't play online, so
Yeah.
you know. Uh, yeah, the card thing that they have it in NHL and Madden also now, so
Hmm.
that's another type of way to spend your money, I guess. I actually have to say guilty for that, because when I used to play that the card thing, I used to download card packs, pay for them so I could get better players. I actually did that, and I actually did. I guess we could talk about Mass Effect.
Cheater.
Yeah, Mass Effect 3, instead of earning my way through getting the packs. There's a lot of times that I actually paid to get the packs.
Yes, that's another kind of way. Like if you don't want, yeah. But the fact is though, that's randomized.
Yeah.
That's the real shit thing about that there.
Hmm.
It's totally randomized.
It doesn't matter if you pay to get them.
You can end up still getting shit.
Yeah, still get shit. So I think they should at least, if somebody pays real money for it, give them something special. Give them special character or something like that. And that's my way of thinking anyway.
Hmm.
If you earn your way through, okay, good. You can, if you actually earn your way through, you could get good stuff or you could get bad stuff. It depends. But if you actually pay real money for it, I think you should at least get a little something out of it.
Exactly.
But anyway,
I think I will do for our discussion though.
yeah,
We've gone on, I think, long enough for it though.
we could talk forever about this, but
We can talk about it forever, and I think I'll probably use that as our question of the week.
Yep.
Which I'll say it here now, but I'll mention it again at the end of the episode. Basically, the question of the week would be, what are your thoughts on DLC overall? Do you think what are your thoughts? Like what DLC can you get behind pretty much?
Hmm.
And what are the ones that you think are like, really bad and criminal? Do you agree with us? Do you disagree with us? Pretty much I'll pretty much sum it up
Yeah.
in a question or two instead of 50.
Exactly.
So anyway, moving on to our last topic here. Dennis, surprisingly though, even though we only two of us and said it was going to be a quiet week, we're nearly the 2.5 hour mark.
I told you. Once we start
Yeah,
talking, we
yeah, we can ramble on.
yeah, we go. So
Yeah. But anyway, let's get on to the last section, which will be pretty short anyway, though, which is pretty much what we've been watching. I'll go first. Nothing. Okay, Dennis.
well, you wrote
Yeah, I
down
have.
usual here, so I don't know.
Yeah, basically usual, Frasier, like, How I Met Your Mother, just stuff like that now. But I'll probably be hoping to actually go and see the Amazing Spider-Man and the Dark Knight Rises probably this week.
Okay.
And I believe actually Ted comes out here this week, and I think Brave actually comes out here this week, or this next month anyway, finally, since we haven't have got it yet, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Brave, so might watch a few of them see some of them over the next couple of weeks.
that's cool.
But anyway, Dennis, I know you seen the film last night, but we'll talk about that anyway. But what have you been watching?
Well, I guess I'll save the movie for last. I watched the Raw 1000, I guess a Raw 1000 episode that aired Monday, which was underwhelming, to say the least. There were some good things, I guess. The DX reunion at the very beginning of the program was, in my opinion, the highlight of the show, I guess.
So basically, they started off with a bang.
Yeah, they started it off with a very big bang. There was Triple H and Shawn Michaels came out, and then they started doing their usual thing that they do, and then Shawn Michaels goes, there's something wrong, something's missing, it's not as it used to be or something like that. And then he says, Triple H goes, wasn't there more of us before? And then people start going nuts. And then he said, I said, wasn't there more of us? And then, the whole point to the entrance, and then Road Dogg and Billy Gunn and X-Pac came out, which was pretty cool. I guess they did their whole New Age Outlaws thing, and
Didn't they beat Bate or something, or he didn't actually say badass Billy Gunn?
yeah, he said in the old introduction, he said, and the bad beep Billy Gunn, like he beeped his own thing.
It got to me as fucking stupid as hell. I do not care if it's whole still PG, but like seriously,
Yeah, I know.
you don't censor that out.
And later on, which is absolutely ridiculous, because later on when Triple H was out calling out Brock Lesnar, he said,
He said ass, I believe, didn't
he said to Paul Heyman, who was there, he said, tell Brock Lesnar to bring his ass to the ring. So, I don't know why.
They're probably allowed to use a certain number of times.
Yeah, I don't know, and since Triple H is a big head over there at WWE, I don't know. Maybe he has permission to say it, and others don't. I don't know how it works, but anyway, that was a highlight for me. The highlight of the show, the DX reunion, which naturally, being the WWE, was interrupted by a wrestler from today, a superstar from today, Damien Sandow. I don't know if you know him.
I have no idea who he is.
No.
This is actually the guy that I didn't know who it was when Liam was on there a couple of episodes ago.
Mm-hmm.
They were going on about like Money in the Bank, and there was this guy on there. I was like, oh, no idea who it is.
Yeah.
And he told me who it was. I have no idea who it is.
Becky came out and interrupted DX, and he ended up getting Sweet Chin Music and a how do you call it? The
Pedigree.
yes. And that was pretty much it. There were other superstars, like Trish Stratus was there, Lita. There was like this whole Heath Slater thing where he's been facing old WWE superstars in the past couple of weeks. Now, he came out and said, I'm going to face any of the old timers back there, blah, blah, blah. And Lita came out, and he was like, Lita, I'm not going to, you want to do this? So they ring the bell, and they're about to start. And then Lita says, oh, Wait a second. I actually, for this match, I actually have protection. And then the APA came out, Bradshaw and Farouk. Then the crowd went nuts, and yeah, that was pretty cool. And then all the other superstars from previous weeks, like Animal and Vader and Psycho Sid and all those guys, Doink, and so on and so forth, all came out to the ring. And anyway, it was pretty. That was a good moment, also, I guess. And The Rock was there, obviously, saying that he will face the WWE champion at Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I heard about it now. Yeah.
So that match is already booked for Royal Rumble, and he got attacked by CM Punk at the end of the program. So
Yeah, what's that basically? Does that make CM Punk a heel now or what?
yeah, who knows? He didn't help out John Cena when Cena was getting attacked by Big Show, and he actually clobbered The Rock afterwards. So who knows? Maybe he's going to become a heel from now on.
Yeah, and finally a Money in the Bank thing that was cashed in and actually didn't go through, didn't actually win.
For the first time in what, 10 years?
Se- 7 to be exact.
To be exact, yes. The Money in the Bank didn't work, wasn't cashed in by Cena. So that's the first time. But as I said, as I told you previously, I think AJ being the new Raw general manager, which I think is absolutely fucking ridiculous, is probably going to give John Cena another chance at SummerSlam against CM Punk. Quite possibly. I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, and how many times have we seen this already as well?
Exactly.
It was just pretty much this time last year that they feuded as well, wasn't it?
Money in the Bank, where CM Punk left the company for a while.
Yeah, like for a few weeks or something.
Now that was
Like
a storyline, and it ended poorly when he came back, but, you know. Anyway, I guess they're going to face at SummerSlam. I'm pretty sure that's going to happen. And as I said, CJ was supposed to marry Daniel Bryan. AJ rather was supposed to was supposed to marry Daniel Bryan, and was interrupted by Vince McMahon, who named AJ general manager of Monday Night Raw, which caught me by surprise and actually almost made me vomit. But anyway, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with that, but it's ridiculous in my opinion. So there you go. That's pretty much how Raw 1000 happened. There were a couple of other things, but
it's no Stone Cold, unfortunately.
no Stone Cold Steve Austin, which is surprising. They showed a tape of his feuds with McMahon in the past, but he wasn't there live, which is surprising.
But he put a blog up on his site, though, basically explaining why he couldn't, because he actually had surgery or something pretty recently, and he didn't want to sort of, go in half-ass at all, like, and he pretty much wanted to be, like, sort of full up and, go around kicking ass and taking names, pretty much. That's pretty much what he sort of said on the site.
Yeah, I didn't read it. I didn't read the blog. I didn't have time to read it, but yeah, that's...
Yeah, I could kind of see that way.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the reason why.
Mm-hmm. And The Undertaker was there with Kane, the Brothers of Destruction together. We've seen this like a billion times, but whatever.
Yeah.
All in all, a good show, good memories. I thought it was going to be better than that, but, it's the WWE today, so what are you going to do? And yesterday I actually went and saw The Amazing Spider-Man.
Was it amazing?
Not quite. I don't know if it's because it's the origin story again, but I didn't particularly enjoy it. I didn't find it as, I don't know. I mean, Andrew Garfield is a better Peter Parker / Spider-Man than Tobey Maguire is. But I don't know, maybe it's because it's the origin story again. it's different.
But this is kind of the proper sort of origin story in a way, though, because it is with Gwen Stacy, who was actually Peter Parker's original
Mm.
girlfriend
Yeah.
in early comics,
It-
and it was Mary Jane Watson became like his love in later years, I believe.
Yeah, when Stacy actually dies, he hooks up with Mary Jane. Um, yeah, this is the proper one. I guess it's the proper beginning for Spider-Man. You know, he faces off against the Lizard, or I don't know what his real name is, comic book
James Conner.
Connor. Yeah, he faces off against him, and the CG, the special effects are very good. I mean, it's very well made. Um, but I don't know. I think there wasn't enough Peter Parker coming to grasps with Spider-Man being Spider-Man, and there wasn't any enough quirkiness from because Spider-Man usually is a loudmouth. You know, he's gonna taunt his enemies as he attacks them or defends against them or whatever. There was a little bit of that, but not enough in my opinion. So still a good movie, but I don't know. It just wasn't what I expected it to be. I thought it was going to be better than what I saw last night. But
Sorry, Kurt Connors. It was not James Connors.
yeah, you're right, Kurt Connors. Um, it's the villain in the movie. Um, I don't know. I guess we're gonna have to see the second movie how it goes. But I wasn't thrilled with this one. I think Batman Dark Knight Rises was better, and Avengers was certainly much better. So we're gonna have to see. I guess the second movie. Didn't really enjoy the Amazing Spider-Man. It's an okay movie, but not much.
Yeah, that's kind of what I've been seeing. Like, there's kind of a lot of mixed reviews on Spider-Man. So a lot of people really quite liked it, but there was other ones like, yeah, it's all right. It's not that great though. Like they kind of say like the characters, like they say like the ones some like the people in there like they do their jobs well and not there, but just like in terms of the overall film itself, is kind of subpar.
Yeah, it's subpar. It's an origin story. It's very similar to the one that we already saw. So it's the same thing. A spider bites him, he becomes Spider-Man, and it's not exactly the same way that it's not done the same way, but it's very similar. So
Does he go on face Bonesaw?
nope, there's no Bonesaw in the movie.
That's kind of a bit of a nasty dig, considering the fact is, what we know, Bonesaw was played by the late Macho Man Randy Savage.
That's too bad. He does discover while he's running away from some thieves because he's actually trying to find the guy who killed Uncle Ben, which is the same thing as in the very first Spider-Man, and it doesn't happen the same way. Like he falls into a gymnasium, like a boxing gymnasium, and he sees a poster of a luchador and a mask of the luchador, and it looks like the mask of Spider-Man. So that's where he gets his idea. So there's no wrestler, there's no bonesaw, there's no.
But there is certain things that happen in this movie that are quite similar to the the one Sam Raimi did 10 years ago.
Yeah, and apparently this is the original origin story. It's the proper origin story. So
Yeah, like we mentioned already.
so recommended, but it's not what I expected. It's not the best hero movie of the summer. By far and wide, The Avengers is still top notch. Still number one in my book as hero movies this year. So
Yeah, that was pretty awesome, and I think it's coming out soon on DVD and Blu-ray, so it is, in September, I believe. So I'll definitely be getting it.
yep, of course, very good movie. Very good movie.
And I'll let you know what my thoughts are on Dark Knight Rises and that when I see it probably this week.
Cool. That would be nice. Next week probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, anything else on your mind before we wrap this up?
I guess this is while I watch the Olympics, of course.
Oh yes, the Olympics. Actually, yeah, that's actually one thing I have actually been watching. Forgot to mention.
Yeah, you did watch the Olympics.
Actually, watched the opening ceremony on Friday night here, and it was. I actually think that it was a brilliant opening ceremony. Like Danny Boyle, who just directed films like Train Spotting, Sunshine, Slumdog Millionaire, and that there. He was the like artistic director behind it, and I think he did a great job.
Yeah, I heard it was. I haven't seen it, but I heard very good comments about the whole opening ceremony. It was very well done.
It's just basically going through like the whole culture and history culture of Britain,
Hmm.
like going through like this opening like greenery. Like the first sort of part of it to me reminded me of I said on Twitter, it reminded me of Middle Earth.
Hmm.
Like the opening part was like the whole like these fields and that there, and like the shrubberies and things like this, like wee houses and things like that.
Hmm.
Reminded me of the Shire.
Yeah.
And there was actually this big sort of hill at one of the sides of the stadium, and like there's this big like molehill, like big hill, and there was like a big tree on top of it.
Hmm.
I was like, that kind of reminded me of Bag End
Yeah.
in a way. And then all of a sudden, like these like kind of mine worker things came out, and like all these like making a change and sort of into like the industrial revolution that came here and like in the 1800s,
Hmm.
and that to me kind of reminded me of Isengard then, in the Lord of the Rings films. So it was pretty cool though, and then it was like the whole digital age, like, and went through all these different like going through like the celebrating like English literature, like they had this big giant sort of Voldemort sort of thing going over.
Hmm.
It's pretty cool, and had like a bunch of Mary Poppins, and it's like I said, like this digital age thing as well. And actually, there was like this house in the middle, and then at the end of it, they took the house was lifted up, and actually the guy who actually created the World Wide Web was there on a desk with like on the computer, was Sir Tim Berners-Lee.
Hmm.
So if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have the internet pretty much. We
We
wouldn't have the World Wide Web.
Yeah, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah, we wouldn't be here today.
Yeah.
Well, I think that was a pretty cool touch.
Yeah.
But yeah, I absolutely really enjoyed it though, and I've been watching it on and off over the last couple of days as well, which is it's pretty cool. Like they have like swimming and the cycling and
Yeah.
various other events.
Yeah.
That's,
I'm a big fan of the Olympics. I think said this at the beginning when we were talking about the game. I'm a very big fan. I really enjoy watching the Olympics when they come on, and watched a couple of competitions. Didn't catch the opening ceremonies, sadly, because I was working when they were shown on TV, and we didn't get the delay here in Canada. I think it was at the very same time as
yeah,
Britain.
that was and there's a lot of backlash as well though concern about the American feed that NBC was showing it.
Hmm.
And there was this part in it though, it was just like somber sort of kind of lovely sort of kind of wee tribute thing to like the victims of like people who died, like memorial thing,
Hmm.
and to, like sort of the victims of the like I said, people who died and victims of the 7/7 like bomb thing that happened here. Like the day, like it was announced that London were getting the 2012 Olympics back, and I think it was 2005,
Yeah.
the 6th of July 2005.
Hmm.
The day after this like tragedy thing happens, like these bomb blew up in this like bus and like in this like underground or whatever, and like a lot of people died.
Yeah.
And there's like this kind of thing happening. There's like this sort of tribute thing happening there, and NBC cut that out,
Yeah. That was.
and people were pissed off.
Hmm. That's ridiculous. Well, we won't go into the whole American thing and whatever, but that's really sad that they did that. It's really sad. Can't
And apparently, it's one of the excuse to sort of, I think someone retweeted on Twitter here. Apparently, the excuse it didn't sort of something about the American audience or something like that. And I was like, 9/11. Excuse me, 9/11.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, jeez.
Oh, well, we won't. I won't get into the whole
I'm not going to go into it now.
politics discussion thing.
Yeah,
But
politics discussion, but like there was some people who were kind of annoyed about that there.
mm,
Like I seen on Twitter, like I didn't realize until people retweeted stuff. Like NBC cut out that whole part though,
mhm.
because this is nice little it was like this big sort of big circle like kind of like the sun, so it was.
Mhm.
It's just kind of like the lovely little wee tribute thing, and they unfortunately cut it out,
Damn.
and some people got pissed, and I kind of want to blame I want
Yeah,
to
I,
blame
I
them.
do not blame them at all. Not at all. I think it was shown here in Canada, so. But Canada
Yeah,
is part of the Commonwealth, so
yeah. So that you would get it probably much. That's pretty much part of the reason why you got it live.
exactly. Yeah.
So we'll probably be watching more Olympic stuff over the next week, like 2 weeks when it's still going on,
Yes, indeed.
um, and see how well our respective countries do. Well, Great Britain. Well, I'm from Northern Ireland, but it's a part of Great Britain pretty much.
Mm.
In a way, it's like Scotland, England, Northern Ireland, sort of Wales, kind of like that's part of the Britain or UK or whatever, and see how well Canada does.
Yeah.
Like Canada got a medal, and Great Britain's got a medal today.
Yeah,
I don't know.
you got a silver and we got a bronze, so.
I don't know if there's any more though, because there may have been a few more got
No,
since we started this
I
podcast.
just checked and no, it's pretty much the same the same thing.
Okay, okay.
So there you go.
So anyway, that's pretty much all we have to say. Nothing else to say, Dennis?
Nothing else to say. No, that's pretty much it.
No, I think we've talked out.
Yeah,
I think we're going to lose our voices pretty soon.
exactly. Yeah.
Yep, just the two of us though, and yep, we still went a pretty good while though. I thought it was a very kind of interesting episode.
Very much so. Yeah, it was the first time that you and me alone do an episode together.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I just have to do one with Derek now, and that'll be the whole you know it's 2-man sort of thing, crossover complete then.
Yeah. Exactly.
So anyway, before we go, once again, I'll just remind you of the question of the week. Dancer will be posting on Facebook and Twitter, of course, anyway. But it's basically saying, what are your thoughts on the whole DLC front? What are you against it? Are you for it? Like, what do you think of what do you think is good DLC? What do you think is bad DLC?
Hmm.
Just basically, you could write an essay. You could just give like a short snippet out, so we don't care. As long as if we get feedback on it like we did this one, we'll be happy enough.
Yep. Exactly.
So anyway, thank you for listening to this episode once again. And of course, before we go, we'll do our usual plugs. You can find me on Twitter. I'm DowM85. On YouTube, Dow85, and I'm on Facebook as well, but I don't use it, so.
Well, I'm on Twitter, DBoyDen. I'm not on YouTube. I am on YouTube, but I don't use it. And I'm on Facebook. If you wanna find me there, send me a friend request. Tell me who you are, so I don't.
Yeah,
I don't.
I don't accept random flipping requests.
Yeah, I don't send the Canadian Army after you. So.
Yeah, like I went on, basically a little tangent before I go. I went on the PS3 when I was playing 3D Game Heroes, and I had a few friend requests from people I had no idea who they were. And that's pretty much a kind of, not a regular occurrence, but it tends to happen from time to time. When I haven't turned on my PS3 for quite a bit, I turn it on and usually get one or two friend requests from absolute people I had no idea who they are.
Yeah, if you listen to the
Like,
podcast, just tell us. I listen to the podcast. I'm a fan.
or if you know us from Twitter or
Yeah.
something though, or like just basically saying, yeah, I know you from Twitter, I know you from YouTube, I like your stuff, like can I add you? Sure, I'll do that. But don't fucking just send no message.
Yeah. Like, who
I
the
don't,
hell are you?
yeah, who the hell are you? You could be some fucking sort of maniac.
Yeah.
You could be a brony, you could be a clopper.
Yeah. Don't know what those are, but anyway, okay.
Well, that was pretty much from the latest episode of Radical Rascals.
Okay, okay.
A brony is a guy who's really into the My Little Pony Friendship is Magic series.
Okay.
That's a brony.
Okay. Yeah.
You do not want to know what a clopper is.
Yeah.
Believe me.
I think I do. You can tell us before we leave.
Do you want to know seriously?
Yeah, I do. I want to know what a clopper is.
Okay, right. I found this out yesterday when I was listening to the Rad Rascals podcast. So I basically have to say thank you very much, Ben, for fucking scarring me for the rest of my life now. Brony is people. It's basically mostly men, like grown men, who are into the My Little Pony.
Mhm.
See, the Friendship is Magic, which is pretty much supposed to be like a kids show.
Yeah.
Clopper is, how should I put this now, is a guy who's, let's just say, too much into it, if you catch my drift.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
They masturbate to it. They jerk off to it.
Wow. Okay.
The actual dolls that some fucking sickos out there have created that have their orifices
My Little Pony.
of pony, like characters from My Little Pony, where where some grown man can like fucking
Oh. Okay.
sex with. I couldn't believe it when I heard it yesterday. I was like, you fucking there people out there in the world like that. Like,
I had
seriously?
no idea that existed, honestly. I had no idea at all that existed. Wow. Okay.
That to me is just like, really? Cloppers? Like, what the fuck? Like, I knew what a brony was beforehand, like, for a while now, but I had no idea what a clopper was until yesterday.
Okay. Clopper.
So, I'm gonna kill Ben for that, pretty much, to this.
Yeah, that was, okay. Nightmares tonight. Anyway.
Yeah. You wish I didn't tell you. Sure, some people who've listened to the podcast will pretty much be scarred now.
Yeah, we apologize for that, by the way.
We apologize for that, but Dennis wanted to know, and I had to tell him.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah,
So,
it's kind of sick in a way. To me, it's kind of like a bit of a subsection to like bestiality.
yeah. Two girls
Some
hooked up or something. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, we won't go into that.
Go into that. Have you ever seen that video?
Yes, I have. I was curious to see what it was when people were talking about it, and I actually watched it. At the beginning is like, cool, but then when they get into the whole, yeah, I won't say it here because we already discussed the.
Alright, let's go. We've already fucking lost all our listeners on the Clopper business.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I see.
I've never seen it. I've never watched it.
You should.
I don't want to. Oh, fuck off.
Right.
I've already seen enough stuff to fucking scar me though. Over the last couple of weeks, thanks to fucking Andy and Ben with their fucking sick minds. Like, I got linked to get a thing called Lemon Party.
Okay.
I clicked on the link and found out what it is. I'm not going to say it here. If you want to go lemonparty.org or something,
yeah,
check it after the podcast. You'll see what it is. And this whole Mr. Hands thing, again, another story you can look up, but I'm not going to say anything more. But anyway, back to the fucking plug-in here after the little tangent towards the end. I said, and also I'll just basically say plug Dark as well. You can find Dark on Twitter as well, GigaStormZ.
Yeah, Derek, wish you come back.
Come back! You also can, of course, follow us on Twitter at unitedgamedom. You can subscribe to us on YouTube. We're the United Gamedom Podcast, and you can join our United Gamedom Podcast group on Facebook, and you can subscribe to us on iTunes at United Gamedom as well, the United Gamedom Podcast on iTunes. And you can follow Jose Canseco, but I don't think he does really that much now anymore either, does he?
Oh, he's pretty quiet. He's pretty quiet.
Yeah, but you tend to actually, I think a new one you actually should try to follow now is the one that you retweet pretty much at least once a day. And what is it? I like Lod's Daily or something.
But yeah, that's funny stuff. It's called, and it's I at like lols daily. If you want to follow that, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, actually, dude. Like, some of the tweets actually are funny. Like, there's one you retweeted today.
Yeah.
It's like, God is angry or something. And it's like a cloud kind of the sideways kind of shape, like someone's sticking up the middle finger.
Yeah, exactly. There are some that are really, really hilarious. So if you guys want to follow that, it's pretty cool.
I actually might do that now because you've been tweeting a lot. You've been retweeting their stuff a lot though, and it's like most of it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you, Dennis, for joining me on this Sunday evening.
Yeah. It was my pleasure to participate. It's actually Sunday afternoon here, but anyway.
Sunday evening, yeah, or Sunday night now, pretty much coming up. So it is now. We might be doing another episode in the weekend. Well, we'll be able to do it next Sunday, so hopefully we can do it on Saturday because I believe you're working next Sunday, aren't you?
Yes, I am working next Sunday, so I won't be able to do the podcast on that day.
Yeah, so if we could get on Saturday, then we can do it on Saturday.
Perfect.
If not, then might be no podcast next week. We'll just have to wait and see. So anyway, guys, thank you for listening, and we'll see you all next time. Ciao, Bella!
See you next week, Floppers.